for goal already. Does it? Still running. Magnificent play by. Welcome to the replay of Collingwood and Geelong from the MCG. It's round 3 action, and it's right here on Fox Footy.
A beautiful autumn day in Melbourne for the big clash between Collingwood and Geelong. The Magpies 2 from 2, but the Cats yet to win a game in season 2003. Well, good afternoon and welcome. Saturday afternoon football from the MCG. As I say, good afternoon to Stephen Silvani and Sos. Collingwood will start favourites, but they haven't beaten the Cats for 5 years.
Well, that's right. Hard to believe that the Pies haven't won against Geelong since 1998. And for Geelong supporters, they'd be hoping that their winning streak does continue. Of course, having lost their first 2 games of this season. On the other hand, Collingwood have got off to a terrific start, having won their first 2 games. But they'd be well aware that the Cats have really had the wood on them over the past 5 seasons.
Well, let's have a look at the Geelong lineup, and we can see some interesting additions. 2 players, or a late change, I should say. James Rowley out, Stephen Johnson in for the Cats, but some interesting players there. Ben Graham, big question mark over him. He's been a little quiet the first couple of weeks.
He has, the ex-skipper Graham, whose form hasn't been great. You'd expect him to take rock-up, but who knows these days. Scarlett, who's had a pretty good start to the season, continue his good form from last year. But Ling, I think, will have the big job on Buckley, who's been in terrific form. And there should be a bit of spite in that. We can all recall back to that blood incident last year, so there should be a bit in that one. Big game for Kent Kingsley also, who is a goal kicker for the Cats.
Well, there's the Collingwood side on the MCG, and, well, they've started the season very well. They've won their 2 games. I don't know that their form has been quite to the satisfaction of Mick Malthouse, but there's the Collingwood lineup. Of course, they get Fraser, Burns and Freeborn back for this afternoon's game.
Well, you think with Fraser in the side, and you've got McKee, and Rocker is starting in the ruck, which is an interesting one against King. Rocker will probably try and soften King up, and then we'll get the rotation with Fraser coming on and McKee. But a number of quality plays there. You've got Tarrant and Buckley, as we said, in terrific form.
And Williams has been an outstanding pickup for them.
He has a goal kicker and also taking plenty of marks around the ground.
Well, a very interesting statistic has been the number of times that Geelong and Collingwood respectively have gone inside their attacking 50, with the Magpies winning their first 2 games, Geelong losing their first 2, but it's bizarre, inside 50s, 58 to 42.
Well, as you see, 29 goals from that tally, 42.5 from Collingwood, and they certainly are finding their targets and kicking goals, where you probably see Geelong, they're getting the ball inside their 50, but they just can't kick goals.
Well, what do you think this afternoon? Collingwood, as I said, are favourites. Do you think they've got enough firepower to beat Geelong this afternoon?
I think they do. They've got to be well aware that the Cats will come out firing, but I think they've got too many big guns for the Cats.
As we look at the Geelong rooms, and Geelong in their new strip this afternoon, and they're still in there. What difference do you think Cameron Mooney will have in the Geelong side, back in the side this afternoon?
Well, I think just his presence. We saw him in the Wizard Cup, and he came off early in that first quarter, but he provides that focus up forward and the presence and that hardness that Geelong does need with the younger players around him.
Well, it's quite bizarre. Geelong's still in the rooms, only a few minutes away from game time. Normally, there they are. Normally, they'd be well and truly out on the ground warming up. But it's quite bizarre that they're still in the rooms.
Yeah, and really don't look like they're coming out at the moment. Obviously keeping the Pies out there waiting, but obviously Bomber Thompson's probably going to give them a last-minute chat and make sure when they hit the ground they come out firing.
Well, one of the great milestones this afternoon, Collingwood coach Mick Malthouse coaches game number 450, only the 8th person in AFL history to do so, just 2 behind the great Norm Smith. We'll be back for the start of the big clash at the MCG, Collingwood and Geelong.
Join us tonight on White Line Fever, where we deliver the biggest names in the game and they take your calls. It's Australia's only national footy talkback TV show, live across Australia. Join us, White Line Fever, 7:30 Eastern.
Good boy, Brutus. You're such a good little boy. And a good dog. No, Rocker! You're a bad dog. Now stop it, Rocker.
It was the greatest shamozzle I've ever seen. It was just a bloodbath, so help by God. And what a lot of people don't know, the day of the landing, we were supposed to land on a nice little soft beach. But the brass, all these fellas from Whitehall, we got a mile and a half off their course.
This week, buy an Anzac Day badge. And remember,
Saturday, listen up because Fox Footy Extra has the perfect matchup. The Cats up against the D's live from Skilled Stadium.
Oh, don't tell me he's kicked it. Danger, danger.
Winless in the season so far, can the Cats claw their way back?
Magnificent stuff.
Coleman medal captain Meeks leads the Blue and Red Marauders into Geelong. The Cats and the Demons live and uninterrupted Saturday on Fox Footy Extra.
What a match it'll turn out to be as we watch Geelong make their way onto the ground, and surprisingly very late coming out onto the ground, only 4 minutes before the start of this match at the MCG, and there they are. So Geelong, a couple of changes to their side, a late one in particular, Raleigh out and Steve Johnson coming into the side. And let's go down to the boundary line. Christy Malthouse is with Geelong coach Mark Thompson.
Well, Mark, you stayed in the rooms a bit longer then. What's the mood like in there?
No, I think it's good, as good as it can possibly be. We're ready for the game. We know where we're at, and you know, the only way to get out of where we're in is to work hard and play the whole game.
After 2 losses, does it lift your confidence at all coming into a game against a club you know you've got such a good record against?
Oh, look, a little bit, yeah, but you're not going to... Record means nothing if you don't really play good, solid, strong footy.
Now, what about the change, Raleigh out and Johnson in? What's that for?
Yeah, Rails hurt his ankle last week, come off the ground. We thought he'd get up, but he just hasn't quite made it. 6-day recovery, and so we thought we'd play Stephen Johnson.
Thanks, Mark.
Okay.
Geelong coach Mark Thompson, as I say, good afternoon for the first time this afternoon. Peter Dacos.
And this year, Chris O, more importantly. Look, it's great to be here. Good afternoon to everyone. And look, really looking forward to the game. Collingwood 3 times. The G, were first appearance for the Cats.
Well, Dakes, there's been plenty of talk about the gaping hole at the city end of the MCG, about how difficult it is to kick goals. Well, you were down there, and how was it?
Well, I don't know what the problem is. I think we have some footage, and look, I was able to get quite a few. There it is. And not a problem with that one. And
is that trick camera work, is it?
Well, look, they weren't a problem. I think I snagged around 4 or 5 goals, and that's not bad from 100 shots. So. But in the end, look, the key is, and to be fair to the players, it's about keeping the ball low, and that's what I try to do.
Is there a fair bit of breeze down there today?
There is, and it is very swirly, Chriso, so it will be a matter of trying to keep the ball low. It's no different to a golf shot. Get it in the air, and you've got more chance of it hooking or swinging in the end. So I think a little bit more control, just try and keep it halfway up goal post height.
Well, Steve, what do you see as the key matchups this afternoon?
No doubt. I think the Ling-Buckley matchup will have a huge part on this game. And, well, we see Sab Rocker on screen. I thought he'd start at centre-half forward, but Michael Malthouse looks like he's starting in the ruck against King, and he's got his 200 big men, Josh Fraser, and also McKee starting on the bench. So I'd guess that Rocker would go to centre-half forward fairly quickly in this first quarter, whilst either McKee or Fraser will come onto the ground.
I'm also interested to see at that city end if both teams elect to play taller type key position forwards, because it is very hard, very tricky, and we made mention of the wind, so it's very hard to get your timing right. More importantly, try and read the ball, because it will drift, and again, it will drop short. So it may be that both teams, when going to that end, play that shorter type forward line, because the ball will be on the ground.
Beautiful day in Melbourne, 25 degrees currently, expecting a top of 27. And after the very heavy rain we had in Melbourne yesterday, it's remarkable to see such a beautiful day. The ground looks in fantastic condition as we're almost underway. There's Anthony Rocker starting off in the ruck this afternoon to try and combat the strength of Stephen King, the Geelong captain. Nathan Buckley presumably will be picked up by Cameron Ling. Big game, particularly for the Cats. They haven't won in season 2003. We're underway. Rocker gets it down. Buckley, kick ineffective. Ling, Wojcinski, well played by Williams. Rocker just handballs to no one. Now a chance for Enright. Just hoisted high out wide. King leading in the race. Bounce favours Loney. Got to beat a couple though, Ryan Loney. Does very well. Keeps his feet. Linking handball. O'Brien thought about giving it to O'Woden. Kicked the half forward. Malloy with strength. Rook, well played. Geelong out of trouble.
So to wing it is. Cats really do need to find something in the skill department. Poor last week. Being held, holding the ball advantage. No, it's coming back to Ryan Loney. Just so important to Collingwood's running game, Ryan Loney. Has started across half-back.
Just a couple of match-up. Linger's gone to Buckley. Scarlett is picking up Tarrant, and Milburn onto Malloy.
So Loney trying to get it into the middle, so Woden has it. Beautiful day in Melbourne. Woden out wide. Malloy on the lead and has got it. Still a long way from home. A little bit indirect. Possession football at the moment. Jared Malloy, powerhouse for the Pies. Tarrant, or Scarlett, right with him in the end. Terrific last week, Chris Tarrant. Another big job for Scarlett.
It is a big job for Matty Scarlett. He just needs to stick with Tarrant early. He knows he's going to present, so he just needs to provide that pressure.
So Rocker, so drag King under the ball. It's inside 50. Tarrant trying to control it. Scarlett, ground level. A lot of pressure out there at the moment. Kelly, Davis, O'Brien around the corner. It'll dribble towards the square. Well done, Didak. Blocked it. Didn't have it in the end. No free. Over the line. No, Geelong keep it in beautifully. Out of defence. They have to get rid of it. Overuse in the end. Wojcinski, the runner's back in his team. He has to kick it. Still hanging on to it, the Cats. Out of danger, Johnson over the top, and they're into space.
Well, eventually they got out of trouble, Geelong. Kicked the half forward. Wakeland did very well. The Curia. Now a chance for Rablett. Runs inside, attacking 50. Left foot snap. Just misses. Probably missed by a fair way in the end. So, first score of the match to the Cats. And what's been a fairly furious opening at the MCG.
Just up in the Cats forward line, Clement is picking up Riccardi and Wakeland picking up Mooney.
So the skipper has it. Buckley, terrific start to the season for him. Into the middle, great kick by Woden, can run onto it. Sat up beautifully. O'Brien support, Collingwood into attack, pushed in the end. Advantage. Out it comes. It's coming back though. O'Brien.
He was lucky there, Woden. He really, once he gave the handball, he should have applied the shepherd there, which would have allowed O'Brien to get his kick away.
So Shane O'Brien out in front. Good kick, Didak. And more importantly, the space was there for Alan Didak to run into. And the Collingwood forward ready to go at goal. 45-degree angle from right on 50.
Sanderson, of course, picking up Didak. Very dangerous player.
So terrific Wizard Cup competition for Alan Didak. Will prove to be a thorn in the side to a lot of teams this year. Terrific player, ground level skills, spot on. What's his accuracy like? It's good. And we have liftoff. First goal of the game. So terrific start for Alan Didak. Any forwards always looking for that early touch or early goal, and Collingwood are on the board.
I think the great thing about this fella, Dakes, is that he doesn't need too many touches. He's such a good kick, and 5 or 6 touches, he'll kick you 2 or 3 goals.
And the thing is, Sauce, he's capable of doing it at any time, isn't he? Even once being out of the game, 2-3 minutes of football, he can be away.
So first blood to the Magpies. Shocking bounce favours King. It's not effective. Fighting at ground level. O'Brien's been busy early. Just scrambles it inside, attacking 50. Milburn with the sit and the fist, but it's a free kick against Milburn for a push. And Malloy will kick from 40 metres directly in front.
Probably a little bit of a worry this matchup, Dakes. Milburn on Malloy. We know how strong Malloy is. He's got plenty of bulk behind him, and Milburn probably not as well built as Malloy. It's a huge job for him today.
They miss Harley, don't they, Sauce?
They do.
Yes, it'd be a perfect matchup for Jared Malloy. Malloy kicked a couple of goals in Collingwood's win against the Blues last week. There's a good look at it. Kick on its way. Looks like he's missed to the right.
Too high.
Wind really grabbing that, so behind only for the Magpies. And lead by 6 points.
So Graham to bring it back. Collingwood with all the scoring early part of this first quarter. This will really test the Cats last week. One thing that came out of the game against the Kangaroos was their skill last week. So in the conditionals, it'll certainly be tested again. Corner of the square, away from King. Williams. O'Brien again, certainly a part of it. Wojcinski through the traffic, not really directing it. Ling trying to pull himself away, gave it to the wrong guy, cloaked around the body. It's a mark, Collingwood. Tarrant. It was kicked into that hot zone, and Chris Tarrant comes up with it.
Yes, and probably resulted in the zone that Collingwood set up from the Graham kick out. Graham just could not find a target, was forced to go long. Collingwood just bash and crash the ball forward, got a quick giveaway. Tarrant in front, results in a mark and a shot at goal.
Feature of his game last week was his ability to take some great marks under pressure. Chris Tarrant, it's good for number 2. Tarrant has one, Collingwood have 2. So he's always been billed as a superstar. I think last week certainly arrived a little bit. A few new tricks to his repertoire, and Collingwood have their seconds thanks to some good bullocking, good pressure.
No doubt, and I think the positive thing out of this, Peter, is that a number of the Collingwood forwards are getting plenty of touches. Malloy, Tarrant and also Didak have got early touches.
Great start by the Magpies. Rocket doing well early in this game. That one won by King. Ablett gets his kick away just. Well played by Wojcinski. Paid the mark. Barely 15. Player down for Collingwood. Kick inside, attacking 50. Wakeland. Across the front of the pack.
Free to the Cats.
Free
against
against Chapman. And 50 metres.
Against, or 5 metres. Against Reece Shaw. Chris O jumping in. Wakeland came across.
Tarkin Lockyer on the screen.
Holding his right knee, and that is not a great sign for Collingwood fans, and certainly not for Tarkin Lockyer. Chapman comes in and kicks a goal for the Cats. So the free kick against Reece Shaw and the 50-metre penalty bringing Chapman right onto the goal line, and trainers huddled around Tarkin Lockyer, who's in the true centre-half back position as we watch Shaw. Eyes not on the football, and the interference, certainly the free kick there, and Geelong have their first of the afternoon. Can't run back with eyes on them. Now there will be a bit of a hold up here because looks like the stretcher will come out. It's there.
That is a tragedy. So important, Tarkin Lockyer.
Well, you don't like to see any player sustain a knee injury, and particularly a player of Tarkin Lockyer's, I guess, courage and ability really is crucial to this side. His running play and desperation. Just see it on screen.
Let's hope it's not as bad as it seems.
Ooh. Stretcher coming off the ground. Glenn Freeborn is on the ground as we watch that tackle again on Wojcinski.
Well, it's occurred from a tackle, quite simple, and often is how a number of these injuries could really occur, from the most simplest of acts. And once again on that occasion.
As I mentioned, Glenn Freeborn has been the player to replace Lockyer, and Freeborn on for his first run of season 2003. So we watch it again, and there he is.
It seemed that his knee was going along with his body as well, so we're hoping that maybe it's just pretty bad bruising, or
I guess when you're coming off on a stretch and you've sustained an injury like this, you're just hoping that it's not a season that you're out of footy for.
So back in the middle as Tarkin Lockyer leaves the arena. Let's hope everything's all right there. So Rocker will climb, took it out of the ruck and then slapped it to Buckley. Buckley just dropping it in the end. No.
He did it well then, Buckley. He didn't release the footy. He just created that next ball up, and, well, Geelong couldn't get that ball away from a spillage.
Certainly numbers around this ball. Rocker, third man up by Woden. ground level. Rocker, it's going to the Cats. It's coming back. So Joel Corey will take this. Cats best last week. And they lost to the Kangaroos. Geelong naturally looking for their first win of the season. So much expected this season. So Corey to wind up. He's in the middle of the ground, and while he holds on to the ball, Collingwood get back in front of this ball. So David Johnson smothered and Malloy is away. Malloy can go at goal and dropped it and lost it in the end. So the big man has to do it on his own. Cats now get back. Well done in the end. David Johnson just to clean up the mistake. And Jared Malloy, I don't know what it was, just took his eyes off the football. And we're not used to the big guys going off. The hard work completed, and in the end losing it. It's probably not used to it. So it'll come down. Cats through Graham, round the body, bouncing ball. Clyde does well, slaps it to the wrong guy. Milburn up to Ling. Cats into attack. It's inside 50. Well done, Mooney. Around the body, unguarded goal square. Keeps it low and moves to the left, and minor score. So playing well up the ground. Cameron Mooney not scared to play out of that goal square. Minor score for the Cats.
Loney at fullback. Just chips. Wakeland had to stretch, but it's okay. Just the 15 metres. Cloak makes a hard lead. He's lined up at centre-half forward this afternoon. Jason Cloak paddling. Little soccer. And gains some valuable meterage.
Hit it on the head. Terrific football. Ball bounced at half back, and we have a boundary throw in between outer side, half forward and wing.
Now Cloak will be forced to do the ruck work here against King.
Well, they're doing it well, aren't they, Collingwood? Rockers going down into their forward half, and it's forcing King to come away from the run contest, but not on that occasion.
Low Woden, kick run down by Corey. Corey ends up with it. Handball, searching for Ablett. He gets there. Well played, Ablett. Kick to centre-half forward. In front, White almost. Couldn't quite hold onto the mark. Good pressure coming from Loney. And eventually a bounce. And Mitchell White just asking the umpire about that decision, because he was certainly, well, looked as though he was interfered with. No free kick. Inside attacking 50 for the Cats. Cloak was brought down. Must get a free kick.
Jason Cloak has started pretty well. Malloy on that outer side off screen, giving a lead. Stephen King on the mark. And that's where Collingwood would like to see him. Back behind the ball, out wide to Buckley. Into the path of Tarrant, long way from home. Willingness to run and partake. Feature last week as well. Half forward, Malloy standing start. Knocked away beautifully, Milburn. And we have a boundary throw in.
There's no doubt that Tarrant's got an instruction to come up the ground, take Scarlett away from the goal square where he's so dangerous and gets across and spoils and supports. Tarrant will run Scarlett all day.
So Tarrant, while he moves up the ground, Didak plays out of the goal square. The ball comes in. Enright took it, wrapped up in the end. He actually took the ball, but I think it was paid too high. So lucky to get it in the end. Cats need to win this at these stoppages. Collingwood very good at getting their hand to it. Rook into the middle. Chance now. Can run onto it. David Johnson has it. Half forward. Just chips up. And that's all right. Chapman has it. The only way heading into that area of the ground is just keep those kicks short. Out in front. More so than just bombing it blindly.
Just needs to go back and have a shot here. Pretty tough to find a option when there's so many people in Geelong's forward 50. Might as well go back and have a shot.
It's been pretty good in the first two games as a ball carrier, midfielder for the Cats. Paul Chapman has one. Why don't we make it two, he says. That's his second. And Geelong have another. So after a slow start, Collingwood jumping out. Cats starting to claw their way back. And in the end, not great lead-up play, but more important, good possession football.
Well, it hasn't been, it's been a little fight back, hasn't it, by the Cats? Hasn't been pretty, but they've just clawed their way back and been able to get the last two goals, or kick the last two goals of this game.
So the Cats fighting back, and they're kicking, well, certainly not to the scoring end, you wouldn't think. And Buckley's pushed in the back and get a free kick. Nathan Buckley's been outstanding in Collingwood's opening 2 fixtures. Kick out wide. Tarrant on the lead. Won't get there. Graham.
Good support by Graham. He worked back hard to cover the hole for his fellow defenders.
And no one stands the mark, so he plays on, thumps it long towards half forward. Big pack of players. Loken couldn't control it. Players around the football. And eventually a free kick picked out to
Riccardi.
Riccardi
against Buckley.
Wanted to square it left half forward. Peter Riccardi kicked a couple of goals last week for the Cats. Too far out to score from there. Jumping kick though to the goal square. Collingwood with the numbers. Good fist from Cloak, ensuring it over the boundary line. And Collingwood doing a few things with Rocker and Cloak. Cloak spending some time on the ball. But let's quickly go down to the boundary line, Christie.
Thanks, Michael. Well, I've just been speaking to a few people in the Collingwood rooms. Tarkin Lockyer is in there icing his knee at the moment. His girlfriend's gone down to speak to him as well. They're still assessing the damage. He apparently is in good spirits, seems okay, so they're hopeful that it's nothing too serious. And they'll update me further at quarter time. I'll let you know.
Thanks, Christie. Let's hope for Tarkin's sake that he's okay. Gary Ablett, almost a miraculous goal, just the point. So the Cats now lead by a couple of points. They've done well to fight back, kicking to the city end.
Loney to bring it back. So, no real options at the moment. Cats are zoning. Collingwood trying to find a little bit of space. Into the pocket, the only option. So they retain possession. Loken has it. So into the middle of the ground. Dangerous little bounce. He was looking for O'Brien. Can run onto it. No, says Paul Chapman in the end. Ling's there as well. He's wrapped up. And we will get a ball up just outside 50.
Good effort by Chapman there. Bit of courage, got his head over the ball. Knew to the smart of that kick, and he did that.
Ben Johnson going with Gary Ablett Jr. King back the other way. Licuria didn't have it in the end. Johnson, the Buckley standing start. Out of defence, more importantly, towards wing it is. The chase is on. Wojcinski's out there, back in his team, not able to take it through his own legs. Going through now, helping out is James Kelly. Kicked it back to Milburn. Cats will get out of danger. Pretty scrambly at the moment. Football not pretty. Well done, Corey to King. Over the top. Corey, look out. Reece Shaw was there. Players go in. Loose ball. Hard to judge at the moment. Chapman chips over the top. In this pocket at the moment. Not pretty football. Probably overused. Kingsley. Chapman. Very busy. Williams should mark it and does. And the conditions certainly a little bit harder for the players at the moment just to judge this football.
Geelong certainly dominating general play. Kick from Williams. They've got the carry. No. Enright stands his ground now. Took a step forward. He's able to go back.
He just needs to find a short pass inside their 50 here.
He thumps it long to the goal square. Mooney's in good position. Was he helped? Mark anyway. Free kick and play on. There's a goal to the Cats.
Kingsley.
So Kingsley has his first, and Geelong, after conceding the opening 2 goals of this match, have kicked the last 3 and look pretty comfortable. They lead by 8 points.
Well, I talked about maybe Enright. We see the mark here. That's courage. Fantastic courage. I talked about him maybe finding a short pass, but this was the right option. Long and deep to the front of the square. And we see there Kingsley taking that mark and kicking his first goal of the game.
So it's a handy 8-point lead to the Cats. Collingwood the early 2 goals of this game. Done well trying to get back. Kelly dummies a handball. You're in trouble now. Davis just got him in front. Well done, Mitchell White. Still in the square. Turns quickly and towards Mooney. Use of the body. Oh, just couldn't come down with a chance at ground level. Loken. Wakeland pies out of danger through Clement. Licuria just took the sting off. Towards Buckley it is. Out wide, and the boundary will win out. So trying to pinpoint passes at the moment, Collingwood.
The Buckley, Ling, Jewell, both players have had 3 disposals each.
Cats going man on man. Just so important. to allow Collingwood no space. Kelly did well, tried to shrug a tackle, and we will get a ball up this time.
McKee on the ground has replaced Rocker.
Just the inside 50s at the moment. Geelong have gone in 10 times to Collingwood's 4.
Interesting to see how Stephen King lasts this game. Collingwood naturally have options, the other one being Josh Fraser. Cats again have been good at the stoppages. Enright out in front. Clement should lead Kingsley to the ball. Bounces there. Kingsley trying to use a body, did well. Ball taken, hand to Riccardi. Dummy, no he didn't. He threw it away by Woden. Gave it to the wrong guy. Kingsley, great pressure. Cats at the moment. Should be cut off. Going to ground and handballing out was Wakeland to Clement. Collingwood out of danger. Out wide looking for Cloak. They've got him. No, they haven't. Graham should scoop it up to Kelly, who has been busy. Into the middle, danger. Danger it is, Freeborn has it.
After Buckley, thumping kick, Tarrant in good position. He's got it. He would have got the free kick in any case, I suspect. Great kick from Buckley, penetrating and gave Tarrant every possible chance.
It was a great kick. Tarrant was able to slip away from Scarlett, got 4 or 5 metres on him, but the kick really created by I think it was
Kelly kicked it across the ground.
Kelly kicked it across the ground. Had to be spot on, but the kick by Buckley was outstanding.
3 goals for last week, Chris Tarrant. Didn't have his kicking boot on. Drop punt on its way. He's kicked this one. So Collingwood draw to within a couple of points of Geelong in what's been pretty entertaining first quarter of football.
It has, and Tarrant, he's one of the hardest players to match up in the competition, and if he just keeps moving, keeps working, his speed really gets him to the ball, and we know what a lovely kick he is, and he can take a grab, and he just needs to keep working at his game.
So nothing in this first quarter at the moment. And Cats still maintain a 2-point lead. Ground level Ling. Chapman, well done. Ling. Close quarters to Kelly, has been busy. It's inside 50. Mooney. It's got it. No, could have been a free, and it is. Definitely there in the end, either in the back, but I think they paid it for it just over his shoulder. And Cameron Mooney giving Daryl Wakeland, or Shane Wakeland, my apologies, a mouthful. He ends up with it, and 45-degree angle, slightest of angles, definitely over the shoulder. Has a chance for his first.
So important to this team, Cameron Mooney. Provides that presence up forward and just does the hustling and bustling work.
Just so important that he takes his time and drills it. That goal is good, and the Cats go out to 18 points. 8 points. So first goal to Cameron Mooney. Geelong have an 8-point lead, and they're doing well at the stoppages.
Well, we just see here the free kick that was given away. Did the right thing, Wakeland. Just tried to ride, I guess, his opponent underneath the ball, but did get the arm over his shoulder, and Cameron Mooney converts.
Cats out by 8 points. Ineffective rush play. Kelly doing very well in the centre. No clearance. But Geelong have done particularly well, given that they're kicking to what's been the non-scoring end in the season so far, as we look at Anthony Rocker on the bench.
One of the keys has been they're actually kicking from within about 20 metres. I mean, that Cameron Mooney was 25, 30 metres, but the rest of them have been fairly close to goal.
King decisively, stolen by McKee. Searching handball towards Williams. Support provided by Burns on the ground. Kick around the body. Tarrant couldn't quite control it. By Woden can. Loose player is Cloak. He goes goalward instead. Didac Shepherd. Goal to Collingwood. Shane by Woden. A quick reply by the Magpies. Margin back to 2 points. And it was a bit of a scramble in the centre, but they were able to work it out in the end, and a good finish by Shane Woden.
And as you said, more importantly, the quick reply. They were straight onto the business, Collingwood, and we just saw the hard work by Tarrant. Didn't get much of the ball, but he did present, and Woden, what a fantastic left-foot goal.
Great luxury in football when midfielders start kicking goals. Woden with touches and a goal. Collingwood hit back. Cats still maintain a 2-point lead. King straight down to Burns, dropped it in the end. Trafficked Buckley, concedes by hand away Woden, into attack again. They go one-hander in the end. David Johnson not paid. Leon Davis wrapped up. Milburn. Well done, Leon Davis at goal. Will dribble it towards the square. Didak has a player there, dummied it, and then threw it out in the end to Burns. Didn't have it in the end, has got it. So Scotty Burns ends up with a free. Could have been against Didak early, actually. Virtually threw it across his palm, but Burns comes up with it. Here it is again. Cheeky. Probably got enough of the ball punching off the palm.
Did it well, Burns. He just rode the tackle. Made sure that the umpire saw it.
So Scotty Burns with an opportunity to double up on that last goal from Woden, and Collingwood should take the lead. Kick from about 30 metres. Chapman's about 25 metres from goal, so about 30 out. Scotty Burns into the air, and I think over the post, minor score.
He's made a difference since coming onto the ground, Scott Burns.
Well, it's an area of the game they've lacked a little bit around those stoppages. Kelly has been very good.
Well, he started on the bench in most of the Wizard Cup games. The kick is intercepted by Williams. Off to Buckley, confronted by a couple, so he pumps it to the goal square. Geelong between Sanderson and Graham were able to force it over the boundary line.
Good effort by those two defenders. They were both desperate to spoil that ball. I think it might have been Graham that actually got his fist to it.
They should really, Cats should get, Graham really should be the third man up in this contest, knock it away from the Collingwood goal.
Fraser and King. King decisively. Sanderson, little kick around the body. Ling got there just in front of Buckley. This duel living up to expectations between Buckley and Ling. Not too much on offer. Under 4 minutes left, opening term. Sanderson. Cats transfer play. Good kick by Sanderson. Enright. Wojcinski, who's been prominent early, tucks it under the arm. He's away. He's got some toe. Wojcinski, thumping kick to the goal square. Kingsley couldn't quite hold on. Clement did brilliantly to recover at ground level, and the kick is perfect. Mark taken by Buckley.
So Buckley will have to hold it up. Members side of the ground, not too much coming. Tarrant on his way up, off screen. So the skipper will just hold on to the football. They may try and change direction. He just chips up to Licuria. Joel Corey is the man that he'll be looking at for most of the afternoon. Licuria, half forward, Cloak. Well done, Graham. Did enough. Loose ball, Rook evades and then hands off to Benny Graham. The ex-skipper will bang into half forward, running with a flight. Stephen Johnson, well done. Beautiful mark in the end. So turns quickly, can move into space. That's where he'll go to the goal square. A wrestle down there, Mooney. Well done, Wakeland. Knocked it away at ground level. Players will go in. Handball, dangerous freeborn. Reece Shaw, well done. Did beautifully and will just get it over the line. Not a bad place to be, under a lot of pressure at the moment. One of the features of the Cats in this first quarter has been their pressure, certainly in their inside 50. Ball will come in, 45 from goal. King, big ask this week. Riccardi to run onto a loose ball, confronted in the end. Johnson, Burns, Ling going nowhere, and again ball up this time.
Really good contest in this first quarter. Both teams applying plenty of pressure, and their tackling has been outstanding.
So McKee and Stephen King giving away weight and certainly height here. McKee wrestling. Riccardi took it and try and pull away. Again, just a crowd of players around this ball. 40 from Geelong's goal. Again, the ball going nowhere. Nothing in the game at the moment. Cats leading slenderest of margins at that point. Mitchell White looking on.
Should keep an eye on King here. Geelong have had 12 hit outs to Collingwood 2.
So McKee takes it, well smothered by Chapman. Loney, standing start, out of danger. Graham, well done, got a hand to it, and then mops up. Cats into attack again, in long. Stephen Johnson, front of the pack. Well done. Around the body, Kingsley for a minor score. So the Cats are out to a 2-point lead, and have had a pretty good first quarter.
Woden at fullback for Collingwood. Close to quarter time. Wakeland. Kick short. Mercuria.
Not as short as they were last week. The Cats a little bit more direct and are getting it in a lot quicker.
Option provided by Woden. He did very well. The kick from Mercuria was perfect. Always amazes me. Marking jaw. And the player can't play on.
Buckley leading possessions with 7, Woden 6, and for the Cats, Ling and Enright 6 apiece.
Mercuria got it on the wing. Just chips. Tarrant needs to stretch. Couldn't quite hold on. Fraser looking for support. None. Forthcoming. Corey. Johnson just kicks under pressure. Mark taken by Woden. Now, loose player inside the centre square is Shaw. Not loose for long. He's manned up by Chapman. Chip kick comes to Mercuria. Not much time left in this opening term. Buckley calling for it long.
Done well here, Geelong. They've slowed the game down.
Now Cloak moves for him. That's the kick in that direction. Cloak couldn't quite hold on. David Johnson just lost the handle. Now they're under pressure. Spriggs, Ling, good slick hands. And the Cats out of trouble, only just. Mercuria tries to keep it in, can't. And a boundary throw in on the wing.
So important this quarter that Geelong made this game a contest. They've done that, and they've done it by their tackling and just slowing the game down when Collingwood have got the ball.
Boundary throw in. King in front position. Wojcinski, the tackle by Fraser. Spriggs under pressure. As the quarter-time siren sounds, and at quarter-time, 2-point lead to the Cats. The Collingwood kicked the opening 2 goals of the match, but since then, the Cats really controlled play, Steve.
Well, they did. I think both teams had very good patches in that first quarter, but full credit to Geelong. It looked like they might have been blown away early, but they did claw their way back, and as a result, they're up by 2 points at quarter time. We see Mick Malthouse on the screen there. I guess he'd be a little bit disappointed with the way that the Pies went, but there is 3 quarters to go, and we're in for a very interesting game.
Quarter time at the MCG. Geelong lead by 2 points.
Join us tonight on Grumpy Old Men, Charlie Sutton and Gary Wilson.
Well, Charlie used to knock them down, and Gary used to get knocked down.
Join us tonight, don't miss it.
So join the boys on Grumpy Old Men, 8:30 tonight, only on Fox Footy. Go Harvey Norman for 400 days interest-free. No deposit, no interest, no repayments until June 2004. What a deal. Now's the time to buy electrical, computers and communications, furniture and bedding, and much more. 400 days interest-free. No deposits, no interest, no repayments until June 2004. Minimum purchase $500. Conditions, fees and charges apply. See store for details.
Go Harvey Norman, go!
Last week it was one-on-one, but nobody won.
We thought there might be some fireworks in this one. Goes towards Barry Hall!
Can't handle it! Saturday night, the Hawks host Sydney. Both teams looking for redemption in round 4.
And he's driven it through!
Captain Max has the luck of the Irish. But will the Hawks swab the deck with the Swannies?
Brilliant goal!
Jump up and look over here. Fox Footy Extra has all the action. Hawthorn versus Sydney, Saturday night.
Yes, welcome back to the MCG as we watch highlight of the opening quarter. Shane Woden for Collingwood converting from just inside 50. At that stage, really just keeping Collingwood in the game because at quarter time, the Magpies are a couple of points in arrears. As we look at the goal kickers, Tarrant with 2 for the Magpies and Geelong, Chapman has 2. The major ball winners were Woden and Buckley for the Magpies and Ling and Enright. And the game notes, Tarkin Lockyer out of the game with, well, a knee injury. Let's hope it's not too serious. And the Cats dominating inside 50. They lead 16-8 at quarter time with inside 50. And that's a very important stat because that's where they've really put the stamp on this game, Steve.
Well, they have. They're getting the ball inside their 50 and they're providing a contest up there. Kingsley and also Mooney, who's come into this team. And I believe he means so much to this team and that they're able to kick goals and crumb goals from those type of forwards.
Well, one of the smaller players making impact in this opening quarter, was Paul Chapman. He kicked 2 goals and really provided a small target up forward for the Cats.
Well, he's terrific. He's been terrific in the previous 2 rounds of the season. Certainly does give him something, can find the ball, does use it, and more importantly, he's had 5 possessions, doing the job of 2 guys at the moment. He's kicked 2 goals, all coming naturally in that first quarter.
And the other player that's kicked 2 goals for the Magpies, Chris Tarrant, has really given them a target up forward.
Well, he has. He's moved around, and that's the great thing about Tarrant. When he does move, he creates so many opportunities for himself, but also his teammates up forward. Just the 2 goals from three possessions, but more importantly, he's taken 3 marks. So he is presenting and working very hard.
Well, let's have a look at the good signs for the Cats as far as they're concerned. And last year, when they won at quarter time, they had 14 inside 50s, and as we stand at the moment at quarter time, they've been inside 50 16 times, so well on target for a victory.
Yeah, exactly. Look, they were very good in the first quarter last week, but unfortunately fell away. Let's hope it doesn't happen again here.
Well, second quarter underway. Geelong, Kelly, got it to Ablett, but he was under all sorts of pressure. Allows Buckley in. Clement uses the ball so well, James Clement. Gets to Cloak, who surprisingly lined up at centre-half forward this afternoon for Collingwood. Just backward of the wing, probing kick onto the chest of Malloy. That was a great kick.
It was a great lead also by Malloy.
Just forward of the wing, thumping kick, inside attacking 50. Oh, a couple of players spoil each other. Tarrant and Rocker across the front of the pack. Scarlett, good little turn. Uses Ablett, now Sanderson, and the Cats out of trouble.
So the wing it is. Gardner's out there. Loken read it a little bit better. Probably lucky bounce as well. Into half forward, Didak through his hands. Numbers with the Cats, Ablett. Terrific at just being able to evade tackles, Ablett, especially when a guy has hands around his waist. Kingsley. So Ablett continues to run. He goes to Gardner. So the Cats are running, certainly. A little bit of time and space. Has to use it. 60 from goal to the square. Riccardi. Ball jumping in. Well done, Clement. Got a hand to it. Over the top, Lacuria. The left footer, that's where he tries to go by Woden in support. Out of danger, Shaw. Clement runs on and around Corey. So defence into attack at the moment. The ball will run, running back onto it, Sanderson. Tarrant also there. And David Johnson onto Graham, and the Cats out of danger.
Long to centre-half forward, good fist from Wakeland. Ground level, Riccardi. Just stood up in the tackle, was able to get it wide, but to no one. The handball from Buckley was too fierce. Loken now, he tried to direct it through traffic to Johnson. Wasn't effective. They're out of trouble, though. Woden. No, Bree. High towards half forward. Rocker with the set. Cloak across the front of the pack. They all fall over. Chance now for Cloak. Just size up the situation. Just scrambles it, really, inside attacking 50. Malloy, almost the clever mark. Needs support. Has it through McKee, 45 from goal, out wide to Rocker, left foot kick is poor. Didak couldn't take it, Wojcinski is tough, he crashes through, kicks it out wide, and there'll be a relay free kick. No, play-on's the call. Cats there in number, Milburn, good tackle coming from the Courier, in fact it's Corey. Little handball this time to Milburn, and Geelong stand up.
So pretty short and scrambly at the moment. Ling hands off to Riccardi. If he goes long, no one down there running onto it. Loney's back there. Woden also for Collingwood. The bounce favouring Reece Shaw. And in the end,
it was a poor kick by the Cardi. I mean, he's tried to go the spiral. Really should have put a drop punt to the top of the square.
Let's quickly go down to the boundary line. Christy Malthouse with an update on Tarkin Lockyer.
For the rest of the game, Tarkin Lockyer will take no further part in this match. He's still in the rooms with a physio and a doctor who are further just assessing his knee. That's all information they'll give away at this stage.
So Steve Johnson's playing it in the end, well across goal. And Steve Johnson has a few in that area. Just at different times, a kicking can let him down. So Wakeland takes it. Collingwood out of that back pocket. Straight into the air. Rocker will jump. Hard to judge. Buckley close to the boundary, and Ling doing a pretty good job at the moment, the Collingwood skipper. Sees it over the line. Cameron Ling 8 possessions in this game. Actually going in against Buckley, who has 9. Player rankings. Cats certainly represented there. Gary Ablett Jr. at the top of the pile. Ball up. No, it isn't. It's a free. And we'll go to the Pies. O'Brien and LaCuria all over James Kelly there. So Collingwood moving on quickly. Well done, Scarlett. Got a fist to it. Pretty scrambly football game at the moment.
That's what Matty Scarlett's got to do. He's just got to be there for the next 3 or 4 contests. What Tarrant does have a problem with is that if he can just be with him on 3 or 4 occasions, he does stop his leading a little bit. He stops his work rate, and Scarlett just needs to continue to apply that pressure.
King is very strong. Advantage paid. It was a free kick to the Cats. Sanderson all by himself in the centre circle. Needs to get rid of it quickly. Does. Directs it inside attacking 50. Mooney on the lead. The kick just a little wide of the mark, and Kingsley couldn't control it. Crowd calling for out of bounds on the full, but the boundary umpire there indicating it came just above the knee, so no free kick. So we look at Gergich just ready to come on. Cloak, third man up, knocks it wide of the pack. Rook, good tackle coming from Williams. Cloak tried to get it through, couldn't, and ball up. One of the
problems in this game, they've certainly been terrific in that area, the Cats, but one of the problems is their handballs. A lot of the skills they're trying to execute over very short distance. They've got to get a little bit of width with their hands and their foot passing. So ball will be bounced. McKee and King's free. Oh, I don't know if that was there. Both players wrestling, and McKee really, the only way he can combat King is really by trying to wrestle him, and he really should be playing off him when that ball comes down. Cross goal, Collingwood do need a little bit of run, and this is when they tend to get it, when they do switch direction. Clement into the air. Woden has to go. Enright. Oh, nearly took it in the end. Tarrant toe poking it over the line. And right in front of where Josh Fraser is coming on for Collingwood. Another change. Reece Shaw off, so a running player for a taller option. Ball will come in and straight into it. Josh Fraser stood his ground, which is a good sign. LaCuria over the top of Peels. Umpire having none of it, and we get another ball up. So just forward a wing, just favouring the Pies. No score added to the quarter-time score. Ball down. King doing a lot of wrestling, third man up, and that's what they need, Collingwood. It was Buckley earlier, O'Brien, and Rook will see it over the line. So it's about 75 from Collingwood's goal, right in front of the members.
Just looking at Jason Cloak at the moment. He's played up in the forward line. He's had a run on the ball now. He's actually back in Collingwood's back half, picking up Peter Riccardi.
And McKee playing across half back as a loose man. King will take it out of the ruck. Buckley smothered it, running onto it. Rook has a player in support. Gergic. Into the middle he goes and bombs it in. Keeps it low. McKee got a hand to it. Runs back on it. Wakeland's there in support. Well done. Fends off Gary Ablett. Wakeland enough time to just get it out. And Williams will take it.
Williams, loose player on the wing. Fraser. His first possession. Now, he's been called to play on. Should have been worried more about where he was going to kick it rather than directing traffic with the man on the mark. So, in the end, the kick was ineffective. So, a boundary throw in.
Didak at the moment, only 2 possessions. Sanderson with the job there, doing quite well. Scarlett is certainly doing a lot better on Tarrant at the moment into this second quarter.
King gets it down, another boundary throw in.
Logan has a job on Paul Chapman, who is across half forward for the Cats. So it's a dangerous play in the first quarter. Jared Malloy
just had the hit-outs there. Geelong 17-4. Really a dangerous time for the Magpies. If King continues to get the hit-outs, they're playing with fire.
This time there's a chance for Collingwood. Johnson, he's well tackled by Gergic. Johnson keeps his feet, looking for support. Eventually gets it through Lucuria, who snaps from 45. Ball going close to the goal line. The Cats do very well just to knock it through.
Did well, Graham, there. He just got his body on the rocker and just really took one of Rocker's arms away and was able to force the ball through.
So why wouldn't you have Benny Graham kicking in effortlessly? The centre half back. Ablett took it and turned and ran into the middle of the ground. Cats now into attack. It's long. Cloak jumped and missed it completely. Logan again at ground level. Chapman goes in to give a contest. Wakeland, Loney, back to Logan. So Collingwood sharing it to get it out of danger towards that boundary. That's a good kick for touch if it gets there. Malloy will crash in. Great contest, he and Jared Rook. That was great in the end. Great football, great commitment from both of them, and we end up with a boundary throw-in.
And Jared Malloy knew that. He just gave Rook a bit of a pat on the back there. That's super play. Great commitment.
And great commitment from the Cats at the moment. They have been pretty good. Ling, through the traffic, has probably been the best Cat at the moment. Milburn into half forward. Mooney underneath the ball. Well done, Cloak. Off the ground and out of danger. Into the air. Luck's a fortune for someone here. It'll come out. Geelong do well. Gergic, and they're back into attack. So no rest for Collingwood. Backman. Is it a push? It is. So Mooney not too happy.
Did well there, Cloak. Just milked it enough. Just milked it enough. There mightn't have been too much in it. We just watched that.
Oh, definitely milked it.
Did very well. Unlucky Mooney.
Collingwood under pressure. Played 10 minutes in this second term. The only scorer behind are the Magpies, so gives an indication about how tough it's been. Searching kick, long lead. There's Tarrant, needs to give it back. No, he's trying to give it to Woewode, then kicks towards Lucuria. Little fumble. Now he's over, needs to knock it clear. Now he'll get a free kick. Perhaps a bit lucky there, Paul Lucuria.
Umpire said it was for a knee.
Against Corey. He wheels onto his left foot. Kick to centre half forward. Rocker up high. No free kick against him. Sanderson. It's all Collingwood at the 4. Malloy. Can he use it effectively? Just handballs. Oh, he's given it up. Now the Cats can go forward. Graham. Thumping kick to half forward. 2 on 2. Cloak tries to knock it towards the line. We'll get there. Spriggs. Great tackle from Clement. Johnson needs to keep his feet. Well played by Ben Johnson. Loose player in the centre is ignored. Kick high to half forward. Tarrant up high. No free kick to Geelong on that occasion. Ling. Ablett. Kicks it over the boundary line. Pitches just inside, so a boundary thrown between wing and half forward for the Magpies.
Well, a lot of the problem in this game has really been the execution, and that's why there's so much pressure on it, placing the pressure on themselves really at the moment, just not being able to find their mark. And really, both teams need a player or some players to start running and carrying this ball, drawing players to open this game up. It's a free. Corey will take it. Being held onto by Paul Lucuria. So Cats want to get a kick, head into both back lines, because that's where the ball has been certainly won with ease. Kick not good enough. Spriggs no chance. Clement, Collingwood's best backman possibly at the moment.
Kick had to be spot on there. We know Clement's closing speed is exceptional. Was able to get the fist on the ball.
So King and Josh Fraser. Fraser does well. Neither player directing it. Ling wrapped up in the end. Woewode comes off for the Pies.
Just interesting, Steve, that Collingwood have placed McKee back inside their defensive 50, who's loose. Geelong have got one extra player at the pack. Haven't got a loose player back in Collingwood's attacking 50.
Well, I guess they're getting the hit out from King, so they're opting to get the ball first and see if they can find a target further downfield.
So O'Brien through the traffic, got his arms clear, which was good. Handballs to Williams. Tarrant's got it. Has to turn quickly into the middle to Didak. Back to the goal square goes Didak, and that's where he heads. It's long. Didak will jump. It didn't have it in the end, and the Cats will get out of danger. Great pressure again, Melbourne. Across goal, dangerous. It's real danger. Toe poking. Didak toe poke to try to work it into space. And Graham and Didak go out of it, into it. Malloy and Graham now, so possibly a little bit unlucky, Alan Didak.
Let's have a look at that. And Sanderson.
Is it any different to Paul Chapman early in that first quarter?
Chance for Rocker around the body. Just misses. So, all locked up here at the MCG. 28 points apiece. And in 13 and a half minutes in this second quarter, we've just had the 2 behind scored by Collingwood. Ben Graham at full-back. Decides to kick to himself. Pressure coming from Malloy. Kicks inside the centre square. Buckley did brilliantly. Now Malloy is loose in the pocket. He ignores that. Instead goes to Rocker. Thumping kick to the top of the goal square. Didak was held again. No free kick. Chance for King. Handball, Wojcinski. Cats out of trouble only momentarily. Freeborn committed his body. O'Brien gave it back to Clement. Chips inside. Good mark, Didak. He slipped over just before the ball arrived, but he was able to keep his composure, balance up, and take the mark.
He did. He did it very well. And just before there, he was probably unlucky to get not to get a free kick. Sanderson might have been holding on to him, but he didn't worry about that, Dakes. He just kept working, and that's what he's just got to realise from now on. People know he's a very, very good player. He's going to get that attention, so he's going to just have to try and work a little bit harder to avoid getting in that wrestling contest.
Great point.
Didak will kick from 45. There's a great look at what confronts him. Kicking to the city end. Drop part. Will it keep its line as well? Collingwood in front. They lead by 6 points. So the first goal of the second quarter has taken 15 minutes. Didak has 2. And some reward, as you said, Steve, for some good hard running by Alan Didak. Dakes?
Well, look, in the context of the game, he's been pretty good, and as Sauce said, he hasn't had a lot of the ball. And when you consider in total 3 possessions for 2 goals, you couldn't ask any more. That's a beautiful kick from 45 or thereabouts. Top finish. So Didak gives Collingwood the lead. 3 touches in all for 2 goals. Not a bad return. It comes out Reece Shaw, thanks to Buckley. Ablett did beautifully. This kid can play. Don't worry about that. Terrific in tight situations. Chips up. Good kick, Mooney. And that's what it's all about. Carrying the ball into space, having a little bit of time, and Ablett able to make good. Cameron Mooney with a chance.
It's good play by Ablett there. He followed up, kept running.
So the Cats certainly have stalled. The last goal, 25-minute mark of that first. They did this last week. They had a big first quarter and stopped Mooney to try and turn things around. Poster. And certainly things have stalled at the moment. Collingwood are not too good either. They've only kicked a goal in this quarter. Pretty tight. The problem has been certainly the possessions. Johnson and Collingwood have it. Defending 20 out from Geelong's goal.
Johnson kicks out wide. Rocker. Collingwood just looked a little better in the last couple of minutes. Gets around Gergich, thumps it long to half forward. Malloy working back on Milburn. Milburn, sensational mark. One-hander under pressure. Changes direction. Mark taken by Ling. Just wobbles it out wide. Burns. There's Mark between wing and half forward. Now he's got loose players inside. One of them's Buckley. And that was Buckley's man, Ling, that turned it over. So Buckley was left by himself at half forward. Drills the pass. Malloy got hands to it. Couldn't complete it. Ground 11. Corey needs to be dragged down by Rocket. Forces a turnover and a high tackle on Malloy. Play on's the call. Shaw just wobbles it inside attacking 50. Didak keeps his feet. Well played by David Johnson. Brilliantly done though by Davis, going nowhere, and a bounce. Good umpiring. Didn't have a prior opportunity, Leon Davis, and a bounce in the pocket.
Just a quick question here, Dakes. As a coach, Michael Malthouse and Bobber Thompson, Ling's had 13 touches, Buckley's had 12. Would you be happy with that?
Well, at the moment, there's nothing on the scoreboard, so you just leave it as it is, really. I tend to think that Nathan Buckley, what you really do is get a bona fide or just legitimate type tagging player that you really would say, don't go near the ball, even if it's at your feet, don't worry about it, just stay on Buckley and just pressure him even though he gets the ball.
Graham reaches over the top, tackle missed by Davis was crucial. Thumping kick, Clement did brilliantly. No, free kick. Free kick to Geelong. He just leant on Johnson, Steve Johnson. At least the umpires are being consistent. He just chips to Chapman. Got it at half forward. Cats searching for their first goal of the second term. Kick to Mooney. Fist from Cloak. The back Loney. Uses Wakeland. Now he's got Fraser free just in front of him. He ignores that. Prefers to carry the ball instead towards Tarrant, who's on a long lead, and he marks at half back.
And the change has been made. Scarlett's been taken off Tarrant and Gergic's gone to Tarrant.
Reece Shaw, under Freeborn, chips up again, missed his mark, Didak. Sanderson had two. Well done, O'Brien was confronted by two pies. In the end, Licuria got it out, Didak on the fall. And then with the Cats going inside 50, one of the problems has been directing the ball to a tall, but not getting ground level players there. Just ask yourself the last time you seen an overhead mark inside 50 for the Cats. Early in that first it was. So Mitchell run onto it. Fraser over the top. Collingwood have time. Clement, normally a good user, just bangs it in, no fuss. Rocker will go one hand at it. Well done, Scarlett, did enough. Got his arms cleared, Chapman. That's all we've seen in this first half of football is really two defences on top. Stephen Johnson, Cats have to certainly get some reward. Mooney, too good plug in the end. Eyes on the football, good use of the body, and the youngster wasn't to be outdone. Sends Collingwood out wide and into attack.
Fraser getting some touches. Good kick. Shaw has run from half back. Sweeping handball to accommodate Licuria. Just has to prop. Kick out wide. Tarrant is running hard. Tarrant, where will he go? Chips in short. Rocker. Scarlett worked to the front. Did very well. Tries to keep it in, but eventually it's over. Scarlett did very well there. Didn't worry about the man, just went for the football and was able to almost intercept.
I think, Sauce, one of the other problems in this game is they're going wide. Every time they get inside 50, the ball ends up wide. I mean, drop at 20 from goal and make sure we get numbers to the drop.
Graham and Malloy, ground level. Cats have got the numbers. Milburn, little miss from Scarlett. Graham fends off Malloy, uses Kelly. Spirals it. Buckley going back with courage. Ling, Ablett, who's been prominent. Oh, he runs straight into Fraser. And Fraser tackles him very, very well. Now he's been caught to play on. Ducks his head. Scrambles it inside, attacking 50. Oh, Geelong. Milburn, look out. He got the handball away effectively. Kelly. Searching kick. Johnson of Collingwood. Beaten by Johnson of Geelong. Spriggs. Left foot pass. Mooney, great shepherd from Corey. Mooney tries to kick it from the angle. Dakes didn't quite have the idea. He obviously wasn't watching our preview where he was slaughtering them from the boundary at the city end.
Should have got a copy to him.
Some great pieces of play there. The tackling on both part and the shepherd that Corey got on to allow Mooney to have a shot at goal was exceptional.
So ball comes in, Licuria to Wakeland. Across goal to Reece Shaw. Advantage played. It was a Collingwood free back where it came, that boundary thrown. Reece Shaw around Spriggs. Steadies on that right foot into the middle. Dangerous if they lose it. It is dangerous now. Kelly does beautifully. Chips in and the Cats have it through Mitchell.
Now, what happened there was that Tarrant, who should have been providing an option, was coming from the ground and wasn't aware that Shaw really needed a target. And so he came off, the key came on, but by that stage it was too late. and Shaw had to direct play into the centre of the ground because he had nothing to kick to on the wing.
In saying that, though, your option is to go long towards the boundary line. He was under pressure, but was forced to bring the play into the corridor, and the kick had to be spot on.
Spot on, Sauce. So Mitchell White with a chance at goal directly in front, keeps it low and makes good. The Cats have their first of the second. And with that, Mitchell White comes off the ground. Geelong had their first goal this second quarter, and with that goal, they have the lead.
Well, we just see here, Reece Shaw forced to come back inside the corridor, which was probably the wrong decision, but a great interception there by Kelly, who was able to spot up Mitchell White. And fortunately for Geelong, he kicked his first goal of the game.
So the Cats hit back. They're back in front. Just seeing 2 goals in their second term, which is 23 minutes old. The game played between the 2 half-back lines. McKee up against Graham. Lucky not to be penalised there, McKee. Little toe-poke forward by Chapman, Clement and Steve Johnson. Works it towards the line. Good pressure from Steve Johnson. Riccardi dumps it high to the goal square. Oh, don't tell me he's kicked it. A sensational goal from Peter Riccardi. Cats by 7. What a sensational goal from Peter Riccardi. They worked it for the Cats from the bounce, and you've got it back to Riccardi hard up against the line, and what a finish.
It was, and just hear the pressure that Geelong plays to keep the ball alive. That's what a coach asks of you when you're up forward. Keep the ball alive. They were able to get it out to Riccardi, and what a super goal.
So the Cats have hit back with 2 goals. 2 goals for this second quarter. That's their total. Ablett through the traffic too high in the end. Umpire was sitting behind Ablett and Buckley, so he didn't see it. So Gary Ablett certainly asking the question. Cats out by 7 points as we approach half-time. Certainly putting it on the scoreboard now. They've been very good in this game. Low-scoring affair. And again, we get another ball up. Freeborn. Benny Graham doing the ruck work, just giving his skipper Stephen King a rest. Actually, Graham was held down on that occasion. Freeborn didn't have it, and that's how it was seen. So it'll come back, has to move it quickly. So not long on the clock. Naturally, Clint Freeborn unaware. Bangs it in long. Target is Rocker. Down ground level is Malloy. Players will go in again. Geelong defending beautifully. That's been a feature in this second quarter. Out wide, Stephen Johnson, plenty of room. Has players in support, can chip into the middle, has to be good, and there's Riccardi. Certainly the last few minutes, Geelong are starting to look a lot better. Into the middle, Wojcinski, so they'll be just happy with this. Run this clock down. So Wojcinski short again, Gergig. So just playing the possession games as the Cats will go in with this 7-point lead. Half-time from the G. And a good half of football, terrific contest. Not a great game as a spectacle, but it has been a contest, and Geelong and Bomber Thompson pretty happy to take a 7-point lead in at half-time.
Yeah, and I guess he'd be more so, even more happy that they've won the first 2 quarters, the Cats. They won it by 2 points in the first quarter and 5 points in the second quarter. We see Bomber Thompson on screen. He'd be happy with the way things are going for the Cats.
He certainly would be. They led by a couple of points at quarter time, by 7 at half-time. We'll be back after the break to review the first half with Sauce. The Cats by 7 points at half-time.
Saturday, the Doggies return to the Telstra Dome to play host to the battle-scarred Bombers. It's a bitter struggle to stay in touch with the 8 when the Western Bulldogs take on Essendon. Saturday on Fox Footy Extra. Go Harvey Norman for 400 days interest-free. No deposit, no interest, no repayments until June 2004. What a deal. Now's the time to buy electrical, computers and communications, furniture and bedding, and much more. 400 days interest-free. No deposit, no interest, no repayments until June 2004. Minimum purchase $500. Conditions, fees and charges apply. See store for details.
Two Rips Norton shows fresh off the satellite.
This is the real deal.
It's The Tonight Show with Jay Leno.
Are those prescription? I'm just curious.
Late Night with Conan O'Brien.
Thanks for helping me be a better moron every day.
This week, Dustin Hoffman, Lisa Kudrow, Harry Connick Jr., Julia Louis-Dreyfus, Snoop Dogg.
There are very few men that have that James Bond-like quality. You're a filthy, filthy man with a dirty mind.
That's Jay and Conan weeknights from 9:30 only on the Comedy Channel.
What if someone gave the AFL clubs cameras?
This is a critical point.
I'm one of the true believers.
And they made their own television.
Not breathing.
He's going to take him down in a death roll.
Utensil of the week this week is the whisk.
Mark Dragocevic here working undercover.
We're not responsible.
Oh, what?
Club Corner, 6:30 Tuesday to Friday, exclusive to Fox Footy Channel.
Beautiful autumn day in Melbourne. A low-scoring affair at the MCG. Magpies trailing Geelong by 7 points at the long break. It's been tough and it's been pretty tight, but it's certainly been entertaining first half football. Well, one of the signs for Collingwood that doesn't look so great at half-time is the number of possessions. And if we look at the bad side of Collingwood's possessions last year, they had an average possessions of 137 when they lost in season 2002, and Dakes have only got 134 to this point, so they'll really need to lift in the second half if they're going to get back into the game.
And then the thing that doesn't show you is the quality of possessions and what they've done in this game, certainly both teams, but I thought Geelong tried to straighten a bit, they're a bit more direct, but Collingwood are very wide with their possessions and haven't been able to get it into the corridor.
Well, let's go down to the boundary line. Christy Malthouse with an update on Tarkin Lockyer.
Well, it's devastating news for Collingwood and for Tarkin Lockyer. I've been told that he has done his cruciate ligament. The surgeon is in there now. He will require surgery, and that means his season is over now. And obviously, he's in there with his girlfriend. Extremely disappointing for him and, of course, for Collingwood. So just repeating, Tarkin Lockyer's season is over. He has done the cruciate ligament in his knee. As for Geelong, well, they're injury-free and very pumped up for taking a half-time lead.
Thanks, Christy, and tragic news for Tarkin Lockyer as we look at the player rankings. And Steve, Ben Graham on top.
Well, great to see that because he was under a bit of pressure coming into this game. His form hasn't been fantastic, but having an outstanding game today. Gary Ablett Jr. there also, and then we have a number of Collingwood players, mainly on-ball players, but good to see Chris Tarrant. His work rate has really come to the fore today.
And Shane Woden also creeping into that top 10. He kicked a goal in the opening quarter and has been of some value. There's the #1 player ranked on the ground at half-time, Ben Graham.
Terrific player and finding a little bit of form, and let's face it, the greatest attribute he brings to the Geelong team is his ability to kick over a long distance, and he's done it a lot of times today, got the ball in the air, and I think what I like about a couple of times the Cats have gone in, I think it's just so crucial to get the ball and give it that hang time. I'm using an American term, but hang time, get it into the air, allow players that time to be able to get to the drop of the ball.
And there's Tarkin Lockyer making his way on crutches around the boundary line, and a philosophical look on the face of Tarkin Lockyer with the news from Christie that he is out for season 2003. A tragic loss, a key midfielder in this Collingwood outfit, and well, he'll be obviously shattered at hearing that news.
Terrible news. Vice captain of the Collingwood Football Club.
As we look at time in possession, and interestingly enough, Collingwood, despite trailing at the long break, have a higher percentage of possession to half-time. Third quarter just about to get underway. McKee starting in the centre for the Magpies against King. Gets it down. Buckley, clever. Kick around the body. Tarrant. Good mark.
Great mark, and Bomber Thompson has opted to go back with Matthew Scarlett on a Tarrant.
And just getting up a little slowly there, Chris Tarrant.
Hit the ground pretty hard.
He certainly did. As we just watch it again, the tension coming from Scarlett. Scarlett
Well, he made him earn it.
Well, he certainly did. I was going to say, he didn't pull up, did he? He just kept going. Well, Chris Tarrant, this will really test him. He'll kick from outside 50. He's kicked a couple of goals. Thumping kick as it got the carry. It'll land on the goal line. Rocket almost, but Graham did very well. Just tapped it over the boundary line.
In that instant, you shouldn't be scared, even as a forward, to just get the fist to it and knock it back to the front of goals. 15, 20 metres from goal. It doesn't really matter. Sometimes flat-footed, straight up, pretty hard to mark.
King decisively. Milburn has been so good around the stoppages, Stephen King. Graham. Kelly. Dangerous kick towards Ling. Good score from Buckley. He gets a handball, though, to Rook. King. Kick around the body now. There's a couple of loose players out on the wing for Geelong. One of them's David Johnson. It's a Shepherd from Kelly. Buckley, great chase and great tackle. Well played by the captain. They've still got numbers, though, Geelong. Collingwood players not really making an effort to get across. Ling squares it up. Sanderson. Support out wide from Milburn. He's got so much time and numbers. Uses Scarlett. Centre-half back. Kick out wide. Now they're in trouble. They've got numbers back, but they've got no one forward of the play. Woden somehow got it to O'Brien. Scrambles it forward. Scarlett in the way, and he takes a comfortable mark.
Well, they need to take a breath here now, the Cats. After that little bit of lead-up play, they gave it up. Woden, they were lucky Woden didn't have a little bit of time, but Scarlett time to just chip it over the top. Stephen King, not a lot of the ball, actually took possession in that first half, but certainly good at just being able to direct it. So short, Jared Rook has it. Cats ready to go into attack. Cross half forward we go. Keeps it low, Adler. Good mark. Great mark. Smallest guy in that forward line. In long. Cameron Mooney facing it. There's a wrestle on. Ground level ball. Jared Malloy down there. And players will see it over the line. Kingsley there for the Cats.
Did well there, Jason Cloak. Just locked on to Cameron Mooney.
So an early goal to start this third quarter would be terrific for the Cats. Collingwood bench, Josh Fraser, Reece Shaw, Scotty Burns, ground level, just getting the hamstrings work. It's back towards the goal square, trying to shrug Riccardi. Cloak making sure he was going nowhere. So was James Clement, and we get a ball up this time. So the Cats, good sign, just keeping it inside 50. Certainly giving themselves another opportunity. Crack Cloak, standing start, good thump, went 30 metres. Well done, Enright, hands off at goal, Milburn. Just inside 50, 45-degree angle, and he kicks a goal. Geelong had the first of the third. Terrific play from the Cats. They worked that ball. Enright was really the architect. Worked it, held on to it, worked it to a player, or gave it to a player with a little bit of time. Milburn, as soon as he had possession of this football, there was only one place he was heading, and that was at goal.
Cats with a handy break early in the third term. Buckley trying to get the handball clear. Couldn't. Kelly emerges with it. All taken down. There's a Collingwood player, O'Brien, by Sanderson. And Shane O'Brien has it. Nonchalantly just kicks it out wide. Didak, who's made position. This is where he needs to use it. Oh, tries a torpedo towards the goal square. Dangerous fist back inside. Good tackle. And Rook by Woden. Took an age to get rid of it. But eventually the Cats get out of trouble. Comes to Graham.
Gone.
Hasn't many options now. How did he get rid of that? Chance for Davis deep in the pocket. He snaps and goes. Collingwood get one back. Leon Davis capitalising on the Geelong defensive error. Ben Graham looked up, he had nowhere to go, but he was probably lucky not to be penalised.
He actually had Ling on his left-hand side there, and he looked inboard, and you just don't have that much time to get rid of the ball, and terrific pressure. It's something that the Collingwood forwards do well, is apply pressure in their forward half. Well done, Davis.
So Collingwood hit back, and Benny Graham, his best option naturally, it's a lot easier now, is just getting it and thumping it out wide, out of danger. Lucuria goes down. It'll come out. Well done, Corey. Evades a tackle. Hands off in the end. Enright standing start. Pumps it long to the square. Mooney, one-hander. That's a mark. And that is a beautiful mark.
You saw Paul Mercuria there. Looks like he's copped a knock to the head.
So the Curia certainly felt the Cats on that occasion. They have been terrific out of the middle of the ground, and Cameron Mooney ready to reward a lot of the better work, and shouldn't have a problem, and doesn't. The Cats get one back. So it's 2 goals to Cameron Mooney as Paul Curia comes off, and the Cats again jump out to a 13-point lead.
Just see there, just copping a shoulder from young Rook. But once again set up by King out of the middle, getting his hand on the ball first, forcing the ball forward. A real danger time for the Pies at the moment.
Let's have a look at the injury to Paula Curia. Ooh, just copped the shoulder there from Jared Rook. Off the ground. Collingwood in some trouble. They trail by 13 points. The Cats seem very impressive. McKee tries to get it out, can't. Freeborn gives it up. Enright, who's been good. Wojcinski's also been very good. Good chase from Didak. Just forced him back. Forced an error. Buckley runs onto it. Was he free kick? No. Davis, little toe poke. Chance now for Freeborn. Just the initial little fumble. We had to go back in after it. And eventually we'll have a bounce. Good chase from Didak there. Just calls Wojcinski to reassess and force him to kick backwards. And force the error.
And really been a highlight of both teams. Their defensive pressure's been outstanding, both teams.
King and Malloy. King decisively. Chance for Williams. Kick around the body inside attackers 50 relay free kick. Well,
that was soft.
Umpire was in good position, but let's have a look at it again.
Wow.
We haven't seen one of them paid all day. It's been a pretty tough encounter, so...
Chris Williams around the body, and in the end you have to give a contest. There was nothing. Just as he kicked it, the player sort of wrapped the arms in. He goes to ground, the ball moves forward. This is not a... This is it.
Certainly not much in that. But Collingwood with a chance. Gives you a great look at what is in front of Anthony Rocker. And a good look at how he kicks it. He's missed everything. No, he's taken him from behind. Disappointing attempted goal. Margin back to 12 points in favour of the Cats.
The disappointing thing about that is he didn't just miss. He missed by a fair way. So Graham to bring it back as Paul Curia off screen, just jogging the boundary. So Collingwood will be hoping he's out there soon after losing Tarkin Lockyer, and that's bad news for Collingwood. It looks like for the season. Graham, it's out of bounds. Collingwood will take it. Williams has to pump it in quick.
2 poor mistakes by Ben Graham this quarter.
So Collingwood back into attack. He'll just chip up. Burns has got it. So just being held up by Wojcinski. David Wojcinski is the man on the mark. Scotty Burns with the responsibility at goal. Collingwood trail by that 12 points at the moment. The Cats have been terrific, low-scoring affair. It's been a terrific contest. Geelong looking for their first victory of the season. Scotty Burns at goal. That is a good kick. That is a real good kick. So Burns with his first, started the game on the bench. It's back to 7 points, and if Scotty Burns has his way, Geelong are going nowhere.
Yes, and we just see here Scotty Burns getting into the game, but the 2 Collingwood goals have been caused by 2 mistakes by Ben Graham, and just at the moment, when you do that as a defender, you do become a little bit shaky.
Collingwood to within 6 points now. A couple of mistakes from Ben Graham, King decisively down to Corey. They've got it out of the centre again, Geelong. Oh, Loken left his man. He's got a chance for Riccardi from 30. Pulls it back too far. Scrapes it in for a behind. And that was almost a quick reply from Geelong. They've done that a number of times this afternoon. Taking it from the centre, and they've been able to put pressure on Collingwood by kicking a goal immediately. Kick comes in from Wakeland. Loney is intent on handballing it. Now puts Clement under a bit of pressure. Well played though by Clement. Kick to Williams. Couldn't quite hold on. Burns in good position. McKee. Williams. They're under pressure. Collingwood need to do something. McKee. Loken has got some toe. Takes on Riccardi. Almost lost the football, but he's away. Thumping left foot kick. Rocker one out. Rocker! What a mark!
And that's what I was talking about, that hang time. The ball was in the air, and if they even had that ball spilled, it gave players enough time between the kicker and where the ball was landing to get into an area to try and win this. But here it is. There's Didak on screen. So Malloy wasn't far away. So with that ball in the air, that was a big mark in the air.
Well, it was. He did it well, didn't he? He just protected the ball. He knew the ball was going to fall to his right-hand side, Rocker, so he pushed Graham out to his left-hand side so he could dive across to his right-hand side. Perfect use of the body.
Needs to kick the goal. He's only 25 metres. Needs to kick through it, Anthony Rocker. He's kicked it. And Collingwood draw to within a point of Geelong. They've kicked the last two goals. And a good transference of play. They almost got themselves into trouble at half-back. Were able to work their way through it.
Well, one of the rare times they've been able to take a mark, contested mark in the forward line. Loken nearly lost it. Ball ended up behind him. This is great. And in the end, it was his delivery. Got the ball in the air. And Rocker, that was a good pressure mark. One of the rare times Ben Graham has clearly been beaten in this type of duel. So it's back to a point, and we're back in the middle. King, no pressure. Woden cutting it off, takes it across the ground. We go members' side. Geelong should get into a position to win it. Rook took it. Ling was shepherding. He evaded one, not the second. McKee there. Well done, Buckley. Out to O'Brien, so they have numbers. Could have gone short to Williams. Into half forward, Tarrant. They're starting to move it quicker. He looks for Rocker again out in front. Rocker will jump. Williams is there. Oh, dropped it on the way down. Third bite, not good enough. And we get a boundary throw in 35 from the Collingwood goal. So Malloy jogs back to the goal square. Milburn with a job there. Scotty Burns is not far away. Rocker, Didak, O'Brien, James Kelly there for the Cats. Players go in. King over the ball, and the Cat skipper making sure this was going nowhere.
Just at the moment, Graham looks like he's picking up Tarrant, and Scarlett has gone back onto Rocker.
So ball to be bounced again. Rocker will contest. Standing start for both players. Rocker down. Malloy wrapped up in the end by three Cats. Corey, James Kelly and Milburn. And we get another ball up.
Just wonder with Rocker, who is Scarlett's opponent, doing the ruck work, whether Scarlett should just drop back off the pack. He's standing just on the outskirts of the pack. He may be better advised just going back to the goal square.
So King actually pushed Rocker out of the way. The skipper does beautifully. Kelly under the running Sanderson. Cats out of danger. Too early was White. Loney did well. Loken goes in. Plays in the middle. Ablett short and out in front of Mooney's got it. Great play. Terrific play through the traffic from Gary Ablett Jr. and the Cats with a chance at goal.
And what about the kick, Pete? Just weighted the ball, really took Mooney's opponent right out of the equation there, because Mooney had to dive forward as a defender. Can't get to those ones, and we just see there a lovely weighted kick.
Cameron Mooney has a chance to clearly be the best goal kicker on the ground. Has two at the moment. Chapman alongside him for the Cats, and two to Didak and Tarrant. So Cameron Mooney with a chance and the honour of missing on this occasion. Wasn't far away. It's a poster. And we have scores tied up.
The Cats actually by 2 points. Loney brings it in to Wakeland. Shepherd from Loken. Kick is good. Gets to Burns at half back.
That's my footy, Russ. Chris, I've been out too long.
Good run provided by Loken. Oh, Tarrant. In fact, it's Williams.
He can take a big mark.
He certainly can. O'Brien, Tarrant in front. Strong hands by Tarrant. He had to hold on there. The pressure was coming. The kick just sat up and Tarrant had to wait. And it gave Milburn a chance to come and destroy it, but his hands were strong.
Yes, and that's his 4th contested mark. So Burke working very hard, and more importantly, his body work's been outstanding.
In fact, the only player on the ground this afternoon to have taken a contested mark. A valuable player. Sorry, more than one contested mark. And Tarrant has 4. So from 40 metres, a chance to put the Pies in front. He kicks it. Collingwood in front at the MCG. So Collingwood, they started the 3rd quarter 7 points behind. The Cats have gone out to a 13-point margin, but they've been able to hit back.
Just looking at Ben Graham at the moment, just his last 10-15 minutes hasn't been great. He's given away 2 free kicks or 2 mistakes, and the last 2 goals have resulted from the opponents he's been playing on.
So Collingwood with the lead in this game. It's out to 4 points. Loken hasn't been a bad provider for him in this quarter, certainly off half-back. He's running Buckley through the traffic, did well, keep his head. Freeborn, Loken again, into half-forward they go. Tarrant took the sting off. Williams over the top to O'Brien. That's where it heads. No, not able to get it, just over his head. And Wojcinski will see it over the line. So Collingwood, more importantly, are inside 50 again. And it's 59, 55. The bench, players taking a break. Saw a lot of football to play. King, lone hand today. He's done beautifully at the moment. 2 and a bit quarters. Milburn through the traffic has to be good and is. And Rook takes it. Cats are on the move.
Kick from Johnson inside attacking 50. Mooney, who's been a valuable player, couldn't quite control it. Kingsley's there, has been quiet. Hand off Gergich, snap Goldwood. It's bouncing offline. In fact, hits the behind post.
And Bomber Thompson has made a move. Graham has gone up forward. He's taken Gergich onto Tarrant. So Benny Graham hasn't had a great 3rd quarter. And Bomber Thompson has opted to put him up forward.
Ken Kingsley's been quiet. Graham takes it out of the ruck, tries to crash his way through. Snap it, goal. Oh, he's kicked it around the body. It's close. Has he kicked it? No. Gee, what a goal that would have been. What a transformation from half back to full forward. Cramp. And we've seen him cramp. We saw him cramp in the opening round. Let's hope for Geelong fans' sake it's not another case of it. Good kick in from O'Brien and the Magpies away.
So Woden into half forward they go. Malloy. Oh, that's a beauty. Yes. One-hander has to move it quickly. That's the key at the moment. As players drip into Collingwood's 50. Tarrant on the way up. That's where he heads, and Tarrant's got it. He sat it in the air and he just hovered. And Chris Tarrant doesn't know what all the fuss is about, because as he just trots off, he will go at goal, and at the moment he has 3.
Gee, it was a great kick from Malloy. Perfectly weighted, wasn't it?
Well, a couple of really great, I guess, aspects of our game. We saw the Malloy mark and the kick, and this fellow here, well, he's red hot at the moment.
Starting to become the best forward on the ground. As mentioned by Michael Christian, 4 contested marks, and that one was a doozy. And the kick across goal, land in the square. Rocker off the ground. Freeborn, yes sir, kicks a goal. That was not touched. And the Pies have another, and the lead goes out to 9 points. Good thinking, Freeborn. Good contest from Anthony Rocker.
And that's the beauty of having a 6'4", 6'5" tall forward in Anthony Rocker. He's able to bring the ball forward, And Woden is able to thrum the ball and kick that goal. Chrissy Tarrant there getting the ball forward.
The beauty
was
is...
Freeborn actually kicked the goal, was it?
Yeah, Freeborn. When you're able to get into the air like Anthony Rocker, the thing is, most of the time, defenders will not get a clear punch. So if the ball comes to ground, it tends to land at their feet.
From the bounce, Corey has it, well tackled, and a bounce. Ben Graham is off the ground. And we saw, there he is, and trainers just working for those areas of cramp. Collingwood have kicked the last 4 goals of the match. Cats got out to a 13-point advantage earlier in the quarter. Now it's the Magpies. King deftly down to Corey, scrambles it forward. Cloak needs to be brave. He was, but he dropped the mark. Steve Johnson, little chip, good kick. Mark taken by Kingsley. So the Cats, a chance to get one back here. It's been tight and tough all day. The biggest margin in the match has been 13 points, which was Geelong's way earlier in this quarter, but Kingsley a chance. Drop punt. Oh, it's a great kick. Cats back to within 3 points. He's kicked 2. So, as soon as Collingwood looked as though they were building some momentum, Geelong have been able to hit back, and a great goal.
Well, it was a good goal, and Stephen Johnson, with a little bit of space, just chipped it out, and they've kicked 2 or 3 of these type of goals this afternoon, the Cats, and importantly with Ken Kingsley, he was able to finish. Hasn't had a lot of the ball, hasn't had a lot of chances, but more importantly has kicked 2. So the only way to answer, Ken Kingsley with a goal, only 8 disposals in the game. Hasn't been too bad when you consider the scoring, only 19 goals in all. He hasn't been too bad in that respect. We will get another ball up just forward of this circle. Buckley, Mitchell, White for the Cats, just getting a rub. They're looking for a big last quarter, so players just resting up. Benny Graham there. They're hoping he can have a big last quarter. And if he has one, Cats are in there with a big show. King, Corey, Cats into attack again. Riccardi comes out to meet it. Loney knocks him off the ball and out wide. Does it bounce? Just inside the boundary. Over line it goes. So true wing out aside, we get a boundary throw in. Very short.
As we have a look at the tackles, and Collingwood dominating. It's been a bit, well, it's been even in this third term, but certainly in the first half, Collingwood well and truly in front.
Josh Fraser will get a free wrestle. Josh Fraser getting front position, more importantly, and holding his ground. So that was a good sign. So Josh Fraser winds up just behind wing. Marking option. Rocker crunches in the end. That was good football. Players holding their ground. Malloy too high, no from Ling. Burns around the corner. And in space was good by Woden. Push! Yes. Definitely push. No way known. And in the end, the Cats through Enright will just chip. Sanderson over the top. King has Ling. And that's where the Cats go.
Ling in space on centre wing. Kick to half forward. Ablett, strong hands. He's been fantastic today, Gary Ablett. Just chips it up, looking for Kingsley. Over the top, a spectacular mark taken by Corey. He just hovered on the back of the players in front and took it on his chest, I think.
He did take it, he had to sit. The thing with that lead-up play, Sauce, was they moved it quickly. They had a little bit of run from half-back. And when they do try and move it on quickly out of defence, they tend to get results.
Spot on, Dates. Great build-up.
Oh, Geelong, the chance for their second consecutive goal to put them back in front. Corey comes in and kicks it. So the Cats have kicked the last 2 goals, and now they're back in front, and a great little comeback by Geelong.
There, well, it's spot on, Chriso. We'll see Gary Ablett Jr. there on screen, but they have answered the challenge. They've kicked the last 2 goals to put himself in front late in this third quarter, and on that occasion, 3 of the young guns, Ling, Corey and Ablett.
Have to ask yourself where the Collingwood defenders were on that occasion. Corey, third man up, only fly. There was one Collingwood player in that area. Josh Fraser, over the top, bounces. Lucky bounce for Collingwood. Malloy, not really handing it off. Goes in again. Arms clear, Burns. Hands off to Tarrant at goal. That left foot is up in the air. It's long, and Rocker too high, no. Well done in the end. Good contest given by Gergic. And we get a boundary throw in. Collingwood fans.
Tried to do the same thing, Rocket there. Just hold his opponent out to his left. But great spoiling.
So King and Rocker. Rocker took it out around the body. Well smothered in the end. Milburn could have been a free ling to Sanderson. Advantage paid off half-back. Geelong out of danger. In long, Ablett, big ass. The sit was Johnson over the top. The ball runs. Reece Shaw. Well done. And into the air. Who will jump? Chapman. Well done by Woden. Thumped it forward Collingwood's way. Loose ball. The skipper. The Geelong skipper, that is, out wide. Ablett got the arms clear, dropped it in the end, took possession. Players go in. Such is this game at the moment. Great contest, great pressure, and we get a ball up.
Close to three-quarter time. Oh, Fraser may have given away a free kick there. Chapman working it to the line, Woden, and good pressure. Well, there's been nothing in this match all day. If we look at Mark Thompson, Cats yet to register a win for season 2003. They're close enough now. No excuses. Fraser takes it out, needs to get rid of it quickly, and does it. Well, we've seen that paid a lot.
Well, that's the new rule. You take it out of the ruck contest.
And an ineffective disposal, so a free kick to the Cats. And with just over a minute remaining in this third quarter, that could prove to be costly. As we watch it again, he's been tackled and dropped it. King, thumping kick to the goal square. Oh, Wakeland, a spectacular mark over the top. He's about fifth man up. It was a great effort.
So Wakeland out wide, Burns. Just chips up, will bounce, will go over the line as well. Ablett's there for the Cats. So Nathan Buckley off screen comes off the ground. Bomber Thompson will be pleased to have this lead and possibly start this last quarter. Didak's back on the ground at the expense of Nathan Buckley. Able to drag himself clear. Riccardi. Players that stop. Rook. Cats into attack that'll drop short. Coming out to meet it by Woden. Fancy. Burns will take the free. And the ball will have to come back. So the Cats, the lead was 2 points at quarter time. It was 7 Geelong's way at half time. And the Cats should enjoy, well, at least have their nose in front to start the last quarter. It's 3 points. Tarrant, and well thumped away Scarlett. The ball over the line again. And between wing and half forward, member side of the ground, boundary throw in.
Nathan Buckley just having a couple of minutes break before the final quarter gets underway. Fraser and King ineffective. Lucuria back of the play. Didak, Williams, the odd chance for Fraser. Just hoisted high to half forward. Milburn almost a clever mark. It wasn't payable. Get a bounce. Well, one thing that will be interesting as we approach three-quarter time is to look at fresh legs at three-quarter time just to see particularly which of the midfields will probably have the advantage. But as the three-quarter time siren sounds, pre-entertaining third quarter of football, and it's the Cats leading by 3 points at the final break, 10-8 to 10-5.
And we see Bomber Thompson on screen there. He knows how important this game is for the Geelong Footy Club. They've yet to get a result on the board for this season, and going into the three-quarter time break, he knows he's got to muster his troops to get every little bit out of them. They did fight back late in that third term, and what an important game it is for the Cats.
Three-quarter time at the MCG. We're in for a cracking final quarter. The Cats by 3 points. Let's have a look at some of the big marks of this fantastic game.
Fremantle versus the Kangaroos. The Dockers drowned at the Dome. And another away game slipped away. But the Roos are ready for a rumble and fly west for an Easter treat with their new soccer king. It's excellent Easter Sunday right here on Fox Footy Extra.
Movie Network. 3 big movie channels, 72 hours a day. 1 channel dedicated to latest release titles. Movie 1 delivers an Australian TV premiere every Sunday night. There's an extra channel that offers something different. Movie Extra, giving you the power of choice with a themed night every night. For round-the-clock classics and modern favourites, Movie Greats is your celebration of cinema. It's your lounge room. It's your Movie Network.
Davis at three-quarter time at the MCG, and it's the Cats by 3 points. Multiple goal kickers for Geelong, Kingsley and Mooney, and for the Magpies, Tarrant and Didak. And the game notes, Tarkin Lockyer out for the season with a knee injury, and really the Pies' height in their forward line providing the Cats with a few problems. So a very intriguing game of football. Geelong got out to a 13-point break in that third term, but Collingwood hit back only for the Cats again to hit the front at three-quarter time. So a very interesting game of football. Let's have a look at the fresh legs. And Steve, when we look at Collingwood, there's some very key midfielders that have still got some, well, you'd hope to think from a Collingwood's perspective, some miles in the legs.
Well, you have Burns and Abreu, but the big ones there are Fraser and McKee. They'll be on this quarter. I'm sure they'll try and nullify the King dominance in the ruck contest.
As we go over the page, Woden, a player, and Dakes with the Cats. There's also some good running players with haven't spent a lot of time on the ground.
Well, Gardner naturally hasn't spent a lot of time. Spriggs is a good ball carrier, has speed, and again, he hasn't been out there for a lot of time, so you'd expect him to be used. And I think of the players there that stand out, King spent a lot of time on the ground. I'm interested to see how he goes, Stephen King, in this last quarter. But Enright, Kelly, David Johnson, all pretty important players in that running capacity.
Let's get down to the boundary line to Christy Malthouse before we start the final turn.
Well, the temperature here seems to have dropped significantly since half-time, which I think all the players will be happy about heading into this last term. A lot of them were getting worked on during that break. It has been pretty warm up until now, so they'll be thankful of that in this last term.
Thanks, Christy. Final quarter underway at the MCG. Fraser up high. King in the end got a fist on it. Freeborn, little toe poke. Chance for Ling, confronted by Cloak. Chapman, wrapped up. Gets the handball away, only as far as Fraser. Good smother from King. Corey uses Kelly, but Lloyd. Oh, he's dropping the ball. I thought he would have got a free kick, Kelly, for pushing the back. I think the tackle from Malloy could have been a bit better, but he's got the free kick. Drives it inside, attacking 50. Rocker, Tarrant! Tarrant's marked 20 metres from goal on a slight angle, and a chance for the Magpies to hit the front within the first minute of this final turn.
And don't they work well together, Rocker and Tarrant? They've got a block. Yeah, they have, but Rocker gets a block on here just to allow Tarrant to get the ball, and that is teamwork.
Chris Tarrant. Shocking kick, he's missed. Just coming off right off the inside of his boot, and as you can see, clearly not happy. So only behind to the Magpies, margin 2 points.
Ling has it. Cats looking for their first win of the season. Will the trend continue, as the boys mentioned pre-match? Geelong certainly had the wood over the Pies. So Gergic, Collingwood just holding the Cats up at the moment. It's into the air. Corey will jump. King was there over their head, going in. Confrontation. Riccardi. Lucuria wins out. Johnson.
Well done.
No right foot in the end. On that left foot, it was smothered. Well done, Burns. Players go in. This is what's even this last quarter. Malloy not able to get clear. Davis. Burns threw it out in the end. Woden across the face of goal. Rocker. Players will jump. Rocker's got it. He went straight up and was there early. And it was Tarrant Early who couldn't make good. And now Anthony Rocker with a chance for the first goal of this last quarter.
And the build-up wasn't pretty, was it? It was out of here on the wing, and they just forced the ball forward. Malloy just hit it on. Davis hit it on, able to get the ball to a free Collingwood player who put it to the top of the square, and that's where Rocker was.
So Anthony Rocker marking the ground and heading back a fair way. 15 metres out. Where the Geelong player is on the mark. That's Milburn. He'll kick from about 20, and a real chance for Collingwood to take the lead, and he kicks a goal. Collingwood have that lead. So the all-important first goal of this last quarter goes to Collingwood. That ought to give them a bit of confidence. And they have this lead.
We just see just not pretty play. They just kept the ball going their way. We just saw the release by Scotty Burns to the top of the square, and Rocker too big, too strong. That's his second.
So Collingwood back in front. King wins it forward. Corey tackled by Didat. Ball spills free. Freeborn just scrambles it back towards the centre. Coming to meet it, Cloak. Is he held without it? He was. Advantage paid. Burns, Shaw. Chips towards Tarrant. And for a player who's, for his height, he's got amazing aerobic capacity, Tarrant, and he's also very quick.
He is, spot on there, Chriso. But what about the Collingwood forward half at the moment? They've gone for 4 tall options. They've got Rocker up there, they've got Tarrant up there, they've got Malloy up there, and they've also playing Jason Cloak at centre-half forward. Plenty of tall options.
This was always going to be a problem. I think the movement of the ball, very good to start this last quarter from Collingwood, moving it in quickly and finding their mark.
Tarrant from 48, drop punted, swinging, and he's just missed. That was a more difficult opportunity than the one that was presented a few moments ago. And Nathan Buckley still on the bench.
So Milburn to bring it back. Short it is. David Johnson out of side back pocket, chips up again. Pretty slow in their movement. Collingwood just doing enough just to hold the Cats up and allow players to move forward to this ball. So all spaces clogged up, closed up, knocking it away. Josh Fraser, Stephen King not able to come down with it.
Fraser's been has done some good things, Steve, in this final half.
He has. I think the big thing about it, even in the third quarter, he started to jump over the top of King, and it's probably starting to wear him down a little bit.
So it looks like Lucuria going with Corey. So Burns in the middle of it. He hasn't been too bad since kicking that goal in that third quarter. He's given Collingwood certainly the muscle around these type of stoppages that they were sort of losing out on. Geelong were getting on top.
Next goal's so important for the Cats.
So Ling and Didak now with Buckley off the ground. Didak and Ling will go in against each other. Free kick, Josh Fraser, and he's really tried to push it in the front. Burns out in front, bump ball. Tarrant did beautifully, took the sting off. Steadied, balanced, and kicked the goal. He has been the best forward. Twist Tarrant 4 goals, and that was the best goal of the game by far.
And if you just watch this, Tarrant just let the ball go behind him a fraction. He knew where his defender was. He knew where Scarlett was, and that's awareness. And he was able to get back on that ball very quickly and slot his fourth.
So Chris Tarrant put the Magpies in front by 11 points. King decisively caught a free kick. Will come back. Advantage not paid.
Collingwood have started to win it out of the middle in the early part. All important centre bounces, and you just have to ask yourself, has Stephen King the gas?
Corey, White dropped the mark that Pep should have taken in the end. Comes now towards White again. Play on's the call. Free kick to Collingwood against Mitchell White, who, in the opinion of umpire Wen, was hovering over the football. Clement uses Wakeland. Now Fraser moves for him. Didek's run hard. Long towards the wing. Tarrant, what a lead. He ran 80 metres to get that, Chris Tarrant.
I can tell you there'd be very few defenders in the competition that could keep up with him.
Great kick from Malloy.
Like this.
Jared Malloy, lead provided by Williams. He kicks longer to Rocker. Couldn't quite handle it. Sanderson was great. Great tackle by Davis. Geelong hold it in. Sanderson, that was a great piece of play from Brenton Sanderson, because I think Rocker may have had it if he hadn't have come across the front of the pack and affected the spoil.
As any game of football starts to wear on and you get to this stage of a game in the last quarter, you do need players that are able to win the ball across half forward, or more importantly, push further up the ground to just take the pressure off.
Gets it to Burns, he wheels around, snaps goalward. Will Burns there for the Cats. Takes a good defensive mark.
So the old 1-2, Milburn Sanderson over the top. Gerging need a goal just to stop Collingwood in their tracks at the moment. Still plenty of time. Chapman tripped in the end. That's how it was seen. Advantage. Wojcinski drew in the end. Well done. Mitchell White will drill a pass. Not really directing it. Clement to the boundary he goes. It's on the full. And to the boundary. I thought he was going to accidentally waltz over. It wasn't to be. So the Cats get a bite at this. Into the pocket. Mooney, the set's got it. No, front position. And holding his ground. James Clement making good.
Great grab.
He'd given up the earlier possession, but has won it back. Chips it up. Wakeland. Certainly pep in their step at the moment into this last quarter, Colin, when we talk fresh legs. Hands back by Woden. That's a good kick for touch. And I don't think Lucuria was too eager to keep it in. They have got it to just over wing members' side of the ground. And 2 early goals to start this last quarter. Dream start for that man, Mick Malthouse.
Nathan Buckley still waiting to get his chance in this final term. Fraser and King down to Corey. Great piece of ruck play. Thumps it long to half forward. White and Loney. White has it. Good tackle from Loney. White over it again. He gets it out this time. Wasn't penalised the second time, and eventually a bounce.
Lucky not to have been penalised. He actually had possession, took it, controlled the football, and then dropped it in the end. More importantly, Cats have it across half forward.
Fraser, who's done most of the ruck work in the second half, and he's done a pretty good job, Josh Fraser. Against the Geelong captain. King this time gets it down. Lucuria commits his body, somehow kicks it out of the congestion. Cloak almost taken by Burns. He's made a difference since coming onto the ground. Handball just missed the mark. Chance for Freeborn. Kicks to the top of the goal square. Rocker was held, no free kick. Knocks it down towards Williams. Oh, that was brilliant! Williams kicks a goal for Collingwood. What a touch from Anthony Rocker. Aware of the presence of Williams, and he was able to just tap it into his path, and Williams was able to finish.
Oh, yes, fantastic play, but one of the players that's really fired up Collingwood is Scotty Burns. That was his 5th possession of the quarter already, but just this little touch there by Anthony Rocket, that's awareness, and as a big man, create some opportunities with your body and bring other players into it, and that's what Anthony Rockett's done today.
So
So starting to get mighty tough for the Cats now. It's out to 17 points. Still plenty of time, but where will the run come from? It is stuff for the Cats at the moment. Through the traffic. Freeborn starting to get some touches. Williams into the air, running with it, Burns. Started the game on the bench, hands off to Williams again. Just an idea of their fitness at the moment. Terrific for Collingwood. They still haven't peaked.
We shouldn't forget also Nathan Buckley's still on the bench.
So in long, Stephen King will jump. Well done in the end. Dumps it to the boundary. Collingwood have it inside 50, 35 from goal, and we have a boundary throw in. Nick Malthouse. Still finger on the button. Still a lot of football to play. Leon Davis keeps control. Malloy, one hand, was good for a big man. Centres it, Freeborn. Bump ball in the end. Cats go at him. Wojcinski was there. And Rocker over the ball. Chance now for Chapman. Not really directing it. No one home. Cloak with time. Reece Shaw has it. So they're into the middle of the ground. Out wide is Didak, half forward. Didak at goal. Didak will shoot. And Didak will kick a goal. As easy as that. So Didak comes up with his third goal. Tarrant has 4, and Collingwood have a 23-point lead.
Well, they've hung in there, the Cats, but the Pies have just got too many answers, haven't they? They've got Tarrant, Rocker, and then they've got this young man, Didak, who is a superb player.
So Collingwood have the only 4 goals of the final term. They trailed by 3 points, three-quarter time. Fraser, Burns, Lucuria, scrambles it. Malloy almost at the fall. Chance for Cloak. He's got plenty of time, Jason Cloak. Wheels around, searching for some options. Williams just pumps it inside, attacking 50. Oh, Rocker! What strength! There was such a big pack, and we look at the face of Mark Thompson. No one could get a fist in there, and Anthony Rocker stood tall. As we watch it again, 3 Geelong players there, but none of them could have an impact. And Anthony Rocker, the chance to kick goal number 3.
And once again, some great play by Burns, but also Cloak, who gathered that ball, gave it off, but got a wonderful block on. It gave his teammate the opportunity to drive the ball long into the goal square where Rocker was.
Collingwood 5 has had the last 5 inside 50s, underlining their dominance. That's what confronts Anthony Rocker. Comes in, pops it through. Collingwood by 29 points. They've kicked 5 goals in this last quarter blitz, and perhaps have put the game beyond doubt, though.
Oh, without doubt. I think Tom Harley, we made mention of just their deficiency in that area, the height deficiency.
Just watch this block here, Dakes. This one here, he gave it off. Just that little block gave Williams the opportunity to steady and get the ball deep into the goal square.
Just too strong, held his ground. And I'll tell you what, best form of defence, or I suppose best way to protect your defensive line is to win the ball out of the middle and make sure it's going our way. Cats aren't doing that. But I'll tell you what you'd be doing first thing Monday morning if you're a youngster is getting down to this site, because I reckon there's about 15 footies down at where they're building that stand. Collingwood into attack again. It's a mark. And
he's just
the
too
gates
big and
have
strong.
opened.
He's just too big and strong.
Too good at the moment. And Anthony Rocker will wind up from about 45, slight angle. And Gergic has the job.
Well, the problem really started when Geelong had to really remove Graham from their back half, and Scarlett's been shifted onto Rocker and back to Tarrant. Well, their stability really went. Graham really didn't have a great third quarter, and it's just unsettled their back line.
So Anthony Rocker has 3. Collingwood have 15. They lead comfortably, and they lead by a bit more. Goal number 4. What a last quarter, and that ought to please that man. It certainly does their supporters. Collingwood are starting, or have, wrapped this game up.
Well, a wonderful thing for the Magpies, really. Rocco didn't have a great start, but I think it's part of his maturity, really, over the last 12 months, where he's worked his way into the game, and he's kicked 4 goals to date.
Magpies by 35 points. They've kicked the only 6 goals of this final term to the city end. Fraser, shot by Corey, just scrambles it wide to half forward. David Johnson. Johnson did well. They overrun it, Shaw. Williams has been important in this final term. Just jams it on the boot to the boundary thrown on the southern wing. Well, Steve, Cats 3, well, presuming they can't get over Collingwood today, 3 losses, where does that leave them?
Well, I guess there's a lot of uncertainty there, isn't there? But I guess they've got to just get themselves together and make sure they come up next week. I'll find out who they do play next week, but a win's just so important with a young team out on the field.
So Corey to take it for the Cats. Burns and Stephen King going at it. Burns trying to stall, not give the Cats possession, just allowing his teammates to get back into position. It's back across half forward, Chapman.
The Cats play Melbourne next week, so they've got another tough one. Not that there's any easy games in this competition these days.
So Chapman to wind up and bangs in long. They need a mark. They've lacked that, and Williams shows them how to do it. Boys, Andrew Williams been a terrific pickup.
Sensational.
Great luxury in football, being able to control it overhead, and this kid does it pretty good, or pretty well.
Ben Graham, who spent some time on the interchange bench and up forward, has now gone into defence and picking up Anthony Rocker.
Here he is again, Tarrant long way from home. So he's certainly provided an option and hasn't been frightened of work. Sanderson made him earn it.
Scott Burns, 8 possessions in this final term. Williams 6. Some real dominance in the midfield for the Magpies.
Saloni. So if you go backwards here, that's where he heads. And with time, and someone has to come at Tarrant now. He can go to Loney, who has room to move forward. So they've opened it up. He'll chip up. Bump ball. Not played Licuria. Certainly finding the going hard. Malloy starting to get a couple of touches after half-time. Bangs it around the corner. Rocker, one-hander this time. Party tricks. Spriggs, a lot of time on the bench. Wing it here. Oh, good mark, Tarrant. This guy has controlled the air. That was a good mark.
Mark number 15.
And a lot of them contested marks as well. And in football these days, with the chipping around, it doesn't really tell a tale, but with Tarrant, he's been very good. David Johnson on that occasion, pretty good also.
Gardner just chips. Milburn on centre wing. Kick towards attacking 50. Chance for Davis. Just handballs wide. Clement. Didak, little fumble. Wheels around, just gets away, or does he? Has to give it up. Now a chance for Loken. Davis uses Johnson. Collingwood away. Kick towards half forward. Cloak beyond him. Tried to toe poke it forward, couldn't, and a boundary throw in.
Well, they're moving a lot better off half-back. There's plenty of run, plenty of willingness to work pretty hard, and I think the thing that stands out in my mind is they're playing out the quarter. I mean, they've had 3 solid quarters, and this 4th quarter is probably their best quarter of the season.
Just dominating this final term, the Magpies.
So ball comes in. Corey, possibly Geelong's best, certainly been in there. Sanderson after the Milburn handball. Gardner knocked away. Loney did well. Licuria, so Collingwood will play it out. Loken, who was good in that third, back to Licuria. Johnson will take it now. gestured to handball. Should have been called a play on.
No, that's
Well,
not. He didn't go over the mark. He just feigned a handball. He didn't move. He didn't take a step. He just feigned a handball, and that's not play on.
Umpire Christian just ruling on that one. Oh, I go with you, Chriso. That's fair enough.
He didn't move.
Yep. So it's 50.
Whether it was 50 metres, I'm not sure. But he certainly didn't play on.
So Tarrant, the cheering is for Chris Tarrant, who's just come off the ground. Buckley back on. Chris Tarrant clearly best on ground.
16 marks, 19 disposals, 4 goals, 2 to Tarrant.
So Johnson kicks a goal. So they're all getting in on the act now. Ben Johnson down from defence. It has been a big last quarter of football. That guy on screen has played 4 solid quarters, and Collingwood will win comfortably.
They are. They're all joining the party, the Collingwood team, but just a bit disappointing because the score's starting to blow out now, and the Cats have been better than what the scoreline actually suggests.
Margin out to 41 points, 7 goals, 2 to nothing in this final term. Collingwood's way. Remarkable performance. Davis shovels it to Freeborn. Is he pushed in the back? No. Geelong desperate, and they tie it up.
Well, Leon Davis with the old bomber special. Essendon pretty good at that type of thing in pack-type situations, get shoveling that ball out.
Josh Fraser there on screen.
It's been pretty good, Sos.
He's played a wonderful game.
Yep. Really stepped up today, Josh Fraser. McKee and King. McKee gets it down. Corey, who's tried valiantly all day for the Cats. Lucuria puts his body in. Now, ball up just outside attacking 50 for the Magpies.
And that has been the feature. I suppose the thing that stands out is Rocker 4 goals, Tarrant 4 goals, Didak 3. So between the 3, better forwards for the Pies. 11-goal return, not bad. And then you have
applause for Lucuria, who has been replaced by O'Brien.
Fair enough. 6 other players have chipped in on the goal-kicking list as well.
Free kick to Chapman at half-back, tackled high from Rocket.
Just looking at the Tarrant statistics, he took 16 marks, 8 of them were contested, 8 of them uncontested. Fantastic day. 19 disposals.
And he got the 8 contested marks because he worked hard and got into space and ran a long way to get on the end of them at times.
David Johnson. Cats looking for a way forward. Now he's intent on switching the play here. Good chase from Didak. The handball away. Wojcinski. Thumping kick inside, attacking 50. Taken by McKee, just dropping back. And Malthouse has worked his ruckman pretty well. Chips it to Williams.
Pretty handy when you've got 3 ruckmen, Rocker, Tarrant and McKee, and particularly 2 of them can play up forward.
Williams, long kick to the wing. Rocker in position, good fist coming from King. Boundary throwing.
Well, 7 goals, 2 in this last quarter for Collingwood. The Cats have not been able to trouble that scoreboard since 3-quarter time. All to come in, a lot of good signs. And certainly their best quarter of football for the year, Burns. Possibly one of the players that has instigated it. Half forward, Johnson. Bit of a shimmy to get around. Good kick. O'Brien didn't go in the end. Backing back, it comes to O'Brien now. Hands off in the end, Leon Davis. Unguarded goal square. Cheeky as ever for a goal. That is a fantastic kick. With the outside of the right boot, going away to his left, away from goal, was able to get that goal back. And as I said earlier, Sos, the party tricks have arrived.
Actually, I think I picked the weakness in this Collingwood lineup here. Johnson didn't use his left foot, had plenty of time to get onto his right foot. Just here, Leon Davis. Is there a left foot there, Dakes?
Well, do you need one? He would have missed by 5 metres had he have kicked it left foot and been running away from goal.
So an amazing final quarter. Collingwood started the term 3 points behind. They now lead by 47 points. Davis out of the centre. Scarlett Buckley now on the ground. Spent most of the final term on the bench. Rocker from stand, start from 50. Across the face, one behind.
Just on left foot, this is to you, Chris. Did you ever see Sauce played about 15 years? Did you ever see him kick left foot?
Not once.
I struggle to kick right foot.
I'd love someone to send a tape to Channel 10 with Sauce kicking left foot.
To be honest, I shouldn't talk about myself, Dakes, but I probably kicked more times left foot than you actually handed a handball out.
Yeah, that's a good counter punch. Yeah, but I'd come up with some footage.
Yeah.
Stark and Lockyer on screen.
How would you think he's feeling at the moment? I mean, to see his team out there, and he's just been such of I guess, a rebuilding process. Of course, their vice captain, and just must have so many mixed thoughts going through his mind.
And an important player, terrific player, and let's face it, as a player, all you're interested in is playing football, and, you know, sort of, if it is that he will miss the rest of the year, well, it doesn't come any more devastating football news for any player, individual player. So it's half-forward Cats. And no score to Geelong. They are, as they were at three-quarter time, 10-8. Bomber Thompson with a hell of a lot of work. Saving grace is there's 19 rounds to go. Another big one for the Cats next week against the Demons, and it's a free. So frustration for Stephen King. McKee. Clement will take it. No huge rush. Clement out wide. Buckley one hand. Ling, one of the better players. It certainly dropped out in this last quarter. Not Robertson Caruso. McKee did beautifully to draw. Held it the last minute. They get it to Buckley. Buckley bangs it in long. Didak behind the pack of players, but sure hands David Johnson. Good mark. The old 1-2. Johnson again. They're pretty wide with their possessions at the moment. But that's where the Pies are forcing them at the moment. So when you don't have ball carriers that are willing to carry it, the only place you can go is out wide. Stephen King again, pretty slow with their move forward, but Gardner has it.
Thanks, Stephen King, who's worked tirelessly today, but do you think the Cats really need to find another ruckman?
Well, they need a backup. I think this game has shown them. Sauce, 3 rounds in, and we have 19 to go. And Charles Gardner with a chance for Geelong's first score in this last quarter. And it's a minor score. And it wasn't the finish they were looking for the Pies. It was 8 goals in that last quarter. And in the end, the Pies victorious by 48 points.
Yes, a fantastic victory. At quarter time, it was the Cats by 2 points. Geelong by 7 at half-time, and at three-quarter time, Geelong went into the final quarter leading by 3 points, but 8 goals 3 to 1 point in a final quarter, Stephen. The Magpies kicking to the city end, which has been, in so far what we've seen this season, the non-scoring end, a remarkable effort.
Outstanding footy. That last quarter of football that Collingwood played was exceptional, but I guess all our hearts go out to Tark and Lockyer, just hoping that, you know, it isn't the season. Obviously, you'll have scans throughout the week, but I'm sure Collingwood's thoughts and their players or his teammates' thoughts go to Tark and Lockyer. But what an outstanding performance by the Magpies. Tough game for 3 quarters. Geelong took it up to them, but in the end, too much class, the Magpies.
Well, it was about finishing on the scoreboard, and there was nothing in the game for 3 quarters. Geelong, to their credit, had the lead for all those 3 quarters, but in the end, it was Collingwood able to finish the game off. So fitness coming to the fore. Now, I did say it was 48. It was too quick for the scoreboard. It was 47 in the end for the Pies, but I think they produced their best quarter of football.
Let's go down to Christy Malthouse, who's with Chris Tarrant and Anthony Rocker.
Well, you two are on fire at the moment. Chris, how much do you feed off each other when you're out there?
Yeah, I think me and Anthony work pretty well together, and I enjoy playing with Anthony, and it's going not too bad at the moment. Yeah.
Anthony, when the two of you lift, the whole team seems to lift. How conscious of you are you of that?
I suppose it's just the way it happens. You know, we don't go out there to dominate every game. We just try and contribute as much as we can to the team. You know, it's the midfielders and the backmen that get it to us. So they got
as much as the credit as what we got.
Chris, your confidence just seems to be growing each week. You've taken your game to another level. I mean, where has that come from, do you think?
I think my fitness has sort of picked up over the last sort of month, and that's been all right. And work with Jared Malloy sort of down the forward line as well, who works well with me and Anthony, so he's been a great help. He missed a fair bit of footy last year, so he's been great for me and Anthony as well.
So are there any competitions going for who's going to kick the most goals?
Like I said before, as long as we contribute for the team, then that's the major focus.
All right, thanks, guys.
Two of the key players in Collingwood's emphatic victory this afternoon over the Cats. The Magpies by 47 points. We'll be back shortly to review the big match at the MCG.
Sunday, it's the Blues' first hit out at Optus Oval, and they'll be looking for another giant killing when they take on Port Adelaide. Carlton versus Port Adelaide, Sunday on Fox Footy Extra.
It's the unmistakable sound of 5-time Grammy Award winner Norah Jones, live and intimate with MTV.
The sound that I love is a sound without a lot of digital things and electronics.
This is the lady the world is talking about.
Come away with me.
Norah Jones in concert, 10:30 Thursday, MTV.
Your team line up first.
Mike Sheehan, Russell Green, and John Barnes looking splendid in green tonight.
I don't know, Hunter. You was hanging it on me.
Fair dinkum.
Yeah, fair dinkum, Mike. You just can't sit back and just let them run over the top. You've got to fly the flag, mate.
Sometimes you're in a situation where you've just got to do things.
We did some stupid, dumb things, and we're not going to do it this week.
John Barnes working beautifully.
Oh, will you tell us the truth then, Hunter? There's something going on.
Well, I just asked. They changed their mind.
You might be a librarian like these blokes. Unbelievable, you blokes.
Fox League teams, live Thursday nights, 8:30.
Jubilant Mick Malthouse, some brighter scenes than there certainly was last September with Paula Courier. Collingwood winners by 47 points over the Cats after they trailed by 3 points at three-quarter time. Tarrant and Rocker, the major goal kickers for Collingwood. Didak had 3, and the Cats, Ken Kingsley was a good contributor along with Cameron Mooney. But, gee, it was a very interesting game, and the 47-point victory to the Magpies.